Horseplay!
How's it going, everybody? I love messing up and saying things that I don't mean to say. Anyway, how's it going, everybody? I hope everything is good. Thank you for throwing things at me, Nova. Very appreciated. I like the brain damage. It makes the neurons spicy. Do I like farming sims? Says Galactic over on the YouTube. I have dabbled in them. I know that I have played like Stardew Valley and stuff similar to that in the past. And I guess like there are other games that like farming is a mini game involved in the game. So I'm not completely against it, I suppose. Do you know what a opinion on, I have no idea what that is. None whatsoever. And Spooky is also here. Hello. I was sneezing a whole bunch before we started. Again, the dry air is just really messing with my nostrils at the moment. Munching on chicken nuggets. Oh, lucky. Let me go ahead and jump on into the voice call in case anybody decides to poke at me. But I'm tired today. I don't know what it is. It's just like on the floor. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, let me check and make sure that I have, like, the proper microphone connected here. I do not. Let me swap over to the right one. Is that it? I think that's it. Yay. Okay. Chicken nuggets. Delicioso. It's been a while since I've had chicken nuggets straight up. For the most part, like, whenever I have something chicken related, it tends to be like with the, actual unground up chicken. You know what I mean? So like, I've had like chicken, like chicken fillet things on like, not chicken patties, but like, basically deep fried chicken fillets on a bun. So that's like one thing that I've had. And then there is, I've had like chicken tenders, which, that's just, you take a, a little like tenderloin thingy or whatever the heck. And what was it? I don't even freaking know. And you take that and then you deep fry and all that jazz. Kind of like armadillos, says OSHA. Oh, okay. Man, it's been a while since I've even... Armadillos, man. That is something I haven't thought about in a very long time. Let me see. What has been going on as of recently? It's been really freaking quiet. I'm gonna be real. I don't have a heck of a lot to talk about, like, related to current events and things like that. Figured out how to add the beat in cool ways, but actual background music is tricky to figure out. Pete says hi, by the way. Hi, Pete. Hello. Well, that's very neat. I've thought about the idea of, like, trying to make my own music a couple of times, but I have not actively like looked into it. I don't know. There's just something about, like, I feel like I really need to understand music theory, and for the most part, my brain doesn't really register music aside from, hey, bloopty bleeps that make my brain happy. They make me very happy, like that's kind of it. And I know it's much more than that, but like I don't know, I can't. I need to, like, I say I can't, but I just need to put in the effort to actually learn. That's the thing. I will say though, if I were to make some sort of music, I feel like this might be a really weird genre to like jump into, but I kind of like the idea. I mean, one, I would like to do like sort of shit posty type of music. I'm gonna be real. So, I mean, I'm a big fan of like Siva Gunner rips and things very similar to that. So I feel like I would want to do something very similar to that. The other thing I was thinking of is like, just like shit posty music. I've been like not following. I get recommendations for like music on TikTok where it's somebody who has literally just made a complete mess of a song using like fart samples and things. And I'm gonna be real, that sounds like it's right up my alley. I feel like I would do that. Ooh, you're making another bird OC. What color palette should I use? Some form of green and purple. Not like, you know, neon green and neon purple, but like a good combination of those that like mix together. Find like maybe a nice lighter, less like bright variation of those two, and I feel like those would actually work really well. Shitpost music is fun to make. Hello, Pie. My life is pretty connected with music, says Osha. Very nice. And Mapley is here. Thank you for the pie, Maple. I appreciate it. You know how to play some instruments. Ooh, nice. Doc, see, if I wanted to learn any type of like instrument, I would probably want to learn piano, because piano is like actually a very close connecting thing with a lot of like synth instruments and stuff. So I'd probably want to go with something like that. Galactic is giving us information on pangolins. Pangolins are animals in the same family as armadillos. A pangolin is a shy, nocturnal mammal covered in large protective scales made of keratin. They also are known as scaly anteaters. And they are super cute. Hi. Very nice. God. So I remember, what was it like? I think I remember seeing like anteaters or something on Sesame Street once, and I was just like, "Oh, look at the weird thing! It's got a strange tongue." Eating a buttered croissant. Ooh. I sing literally every day, says Galactic. I have an electrical keyboard, and I have a kalimba. Ow! Neat. I used to know how to play flute, but I haven't had flute since I was in middle school. Did I post that one video not too long ago? Do not attack the bit! Also, Phoenix is here. Here, give me a second. I'm actually going to, I'm going to pull this up real quick. How would be the easiest way? I think I could play the sound through here. Okay, where did I post this, and where would be the easiest way to get my hands on it? Thank you for the ducks! Is this it? God, I don't know. Owie. Oh! No, it's not. This isn't what I was thinking of. But I wonder... Oh, could I show this on the stream? I wonder. I'm gonna... Hold on. Hold up. Hold up. Ow, thank you. Oh, I don't think I have TikTok cleared through my cookies. Give me a second. Okay, hush. Okay, can I... Oh, I hate my freaking browsers. I hate my freaking browsers! God damn it. Hold on a second. I need to go into my settings real quick. Where's that, Where's the ability to, like... You know, picture-in-picture mode? See, it says enable picture-in-picture video controls. I have it enabled. Why can't I do it? You absolute hornswoggler. It should work. God, I'm so upset. I'm so frustrated. Okay. I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna leave it at that. Unless I'm living under a particular big rocks as fire fee, I expect that pangolins are going to be known by a lot of people thanks to Hazbin Hotel. I see where we're going with... Okay, I understand. That makes sense. Here. I believe I might have posted this over in the memes channel, if my memory serves me correctly. Where are you at? No, but I posted a thing about the euthanasia coaster. Must have been a while ago. Oh, there it is. Found it. Thank you for the floor. Pangolins are the most legally trafficked animal in the world, says Nova. Interesting. Got a thing in the floof zone? Dog watching me. Adorable. Alrighty. Here, let me head back over to the this area. We were talking about flute. Here we go. All right. So there's this person on TikTok that they said they tried they tried playing the flute like a clarinet, and this is the sound it made. Oh, that is heinous. Let's listen to that again, just for, you know, for old time's sake. What the fuck? Okay, well, lesson learned. Don't play a flute like a clarinet. What the hell was that sound? Here, let me, I'm gonna copy the link here, and I'm gonna post it over in the stream chats. In case you want it for whatever reason. I don't know why you would, but there you go. What the fuck was that? What in the burps of the Demon Lord small gun? It sounded like a moose. It did, didn't it? God. Actually, come to think of it, I haven't really, like, I've never listened to a moose or, like, heard it close up. Is that what it looks? Is it? I don't know. I've lived my life very carefully and made sure that I didn't end up in situations where I might end up running into a moose, so. Anyway. That was an interesting aside thing that just popped into my brain. Hey, Dino! What's up, Bit? You're on my new PC. Hey, very nice! How's the new PC treating you? What's the improvements? What does it do? What does it not do? Also, what is that Mr. Bean video, Bit? Oh, so there's this one streamer that I follow. I haven't watched a lot of videos from him recently, but, you know, I like him very much. And he is Joel, aka Varg Skeletor. He is a part of Vinesauce, and he did this one thing a while back where he was talking about old videos that he could find on the internet via, like, downloading them via torrent websites and, like, LimeWire and Kazaa. Which, you know, old is old. But anyway, one of those videos that he remembers seeing, like, way back in the day was this one video, like, that was shared via Kazaa of, like, Mr. Bean. And he was, you know, he got a little bit of water on his pants right where his crotch was. So it looked like he had pissed himself. So he's like, oh, God, I need to clean this up. Or, like, you know, he's thinking, like, oh, no. Oh, God, I clean. So he goes over to the air dryer on the wall, and he, like, puts his crotch up to it and, like, starts blowing off his crotch with the machine to try and get it dry. Except, like, from like, an angle away from it, it looks, like, really weird. And then somebody else gets done with the bathroom and sees him in front of the wall, and he's just basically dry humping the wall. It's freaking awful. But Joel said that, like, one thing he remembered him and his friends doing at the time was they took that video and then they threw it into, like, Windows Movie Maker and stuff like that, and then just added a bunch of really horrible, like, effects, like, you know, color cycling and spinning rotations, and, like, you know, they repeated it several times. I zoned out. What's happening? No, there is no saving you. You're at a BitB stream. If you zone out, that's the end of it. It's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like being on, like, anesthetic, where 1 minute you're in one place, and then the next minute you're in another place, and you don't remember what happened within that, like, hours chunk time. Nope, it's gone. I'm sorry, it's gone. Picks channel. Oh! Ooh, I like it. Ooh, you got the tablet and all that jazz sitting around there. Ooh. And Mapley is just like, Little Nightmares figurines, let's go! It looks very nice. Let me see. Let me be nosy and like look a little bit closer at it. It looks like you have something that does LED lights. Very neat. You got a mushroom of some kind, of some description. Hardwood floors. Good. I'm not a gigantic fan of carpet. It just, like, it's so much maintenance. You know what I mean? Like, the PC looks pretty nice. What kind of card is that? That's an R, oh, a 5080! Oh, look at you, Mr. Moneybags. I wish you the best of luck with it. And I hope that your 50 card does not burst into flames. Which, you know, I don't say that. I say that because there's been a controversy a while back where like NVIDIA moved over to like this new connector for their power, and I don't understand why, because the old connectors were working perfectly fine. But yeah, they moved it over so that like two different like power sources of power were being funneled into like one much tinier little power cable, and normally that wouldn't be too bad if they built it properly, but the problem is they didn't. And now there are people that are like calling in and complaining, talking about how like my GPU caught on fire because for some reason, I'm not entirely sure. And yeah, that's just something that seems to be unfortunately common with the 50 line. And I know this full and you know, I know this fully, and I also went and I bought a 50 card myself. Also, it appears that Mapley came in and needed to fart. Thank you very much for that, Mapley. Appreciated very much. What the heck? $4,000 well spent. Thank. That's a heck of a lot of money. But if it gets done what you need to get done, heck yeah, man. I'm putting the flute as my alarm, and I'm going to annoy my friends and parents. Thank you so much. Sweet! Runs Blender real good. Gonna start doing some projects, and the tower is supposed to handle rendering. Woo! Nice. Today be my little lady puppeteer Miley's birthday today. She just turned 13. Oh, happy birthday, Miley! Freaking adorable. Bitby stream is so ADHD that zoning out during it is like a Family Guy cutaway. Very true. Oh my God, Lois. This reminds me of that one time I was in Fortnite. The tower was like 2K. Man. Imagine if Snap made that noise. I think he would get a flute and try to make that noise, but I don't know if he can do that natively. Mostly the sounds that he does is like, you know, infernal, like, screeching. And like, you know, bubbling. I would chuck Snap if he did that. Snap! You want to make infernal noises with me? Hello? Come here. Galactic says, I'm getting an iPhone 13 for Christmas. Also, Bit, did you ever do the No Mercy run for Undertale Yellow? Nope. No, I Snap's here. Hey, thank you, Phoenix, for bringing them in. I want to put Snap in the boiler. Snap, what do you think about that? You heard the man. How dare you? Armadillo. Is that a Pepsi or a Bud Light? What? Hold on a sec. That is a Bud Light. I recognize that can. Or, well, either it's a Miller Lite. I don't know which one. I don't know. Regardless, frickin' light beer is awful. I mean, I've never tasted it, but I know I don't want to taste it because I remember I worked at this one place where, like, light beer was a regular thing that we sold people, and I don't know why people grabbed it because light beer, like, no. I mean, like, you're not gonna get a buzz off of it, and also it doesn't taste good. I mean, from other people's opinions, I have never had light beer, so I cannot, like, properly judge. But, like, I remember, just cleaning up after it was like a nuisance, because you would just be like, oh, it smells bad. Ew, it's the freaking like hops and wheat and all that. It's liquid wheat and it tastes, well, it smells awful. I hate it. And it's like mixed with other, like, you know, it's fermented as well, and it's mixed with a whole bunch of the other like smells that are inside the beer. And I'm just like, I will never have beer, I swear to God. I'd much rather, dude, I would much rather have one of those like fruity drinks. You know what I mean? I don't care if anybody says that it makes you non-manly. I want to drink something that I actually enjoy drinking. Okay? I had one drink. I love the taste of barley soda. Not, says Firefiend. And also, Mapley has posted picture of Dorg. Oh. You're adorable. So soulful. I don't want to drink bread, thank you, says Comfy. Yep, that's my thought process. I don't like the idea of drinking bread. Closest thing I've ever had to beer was hard apple cider, and I actually liked it. See, actually, my brothers, they are bigger fans of stuff like hard apple cider and wine. Because they've been raised properly. But yeah, the only times I've ever seen them drinking was either like, you know, having a nice wine with their meal or having hard apple cider somewhere. That's it. That's all it is. And you know what? Yeah, it's got like some nice flavor and some sweetness to it and a little bit of tartness, and I can kind of understand that. Never tasted any alcohol beverages, so I don't know. My ex-dad used to drink lots of the stuff though, and I hated smelling that shit. Yeah, I think for me, like, it's just, I don't know. Like, it smells toxic and it tastes, well, I don't know if it tastes toxic, but I'm sure, like, it probably does to some extent. And then, like, you know, and then at the end of the day, like, you drink it and then you get drunk and you're just like, I'm already, like, inhibited as is. Have you seen me stream? Do you know how my brain works? How do you expect it to work when you put me on, like, you know, the drink? I don't think it's gonna work. Smells almost exactly like a yeast infection, I swear to God. Now, I've heard some people talk about some other types of, like, you know, alcoholic beverages, you know, stuff that's like, you know, wine adjacent and things like that. Like, I recently heard about blueberry wine, and I heard that, and I went, ooh, actually, yeah, that sounds interesting. That sounds like, I might try that. Because that sounds decadent. That sounds like something that, like, somebody had some thought put into it. I wouldn't hate it. I'd go for it. Galactic says, Bit, if you were a bug in the Hollow Knight world, what would you use as a weapon? Don't worry about why I'm asking. Oh, I see. Didn't somebody already draw... Ow, thank you. Didn't somebody already draw some fan art of Bitby with me with a weapon? And what was the weapon? Oh, that's a good... Ow. That's a good question. I distinctly remember I had some kind of a thing. But it needs to be small so that a bug can wield it. God, what was that? Oh, actually, I think I had like a microphone for some reason. Like a little miniature microphone as my weapon. So it's like a microphone on like a stand. So yeah, go with that, I suppose. Maybe on Since Magma. I think I was drawn sort of like Hornet. I'm thinking like way back in the day during like my Hollow Knight playthroughs where I was people were drawing me as the knight. But yeah, there was somebody that posted or somebody did draw me as like Hornet in the Magma before. Though I don't know if I had any sort of special weapon in those. I think I just had the nail or I had the needle. One of those two. Galactic says, so an old-timey mic? That might work. An old-timey mic or just like a condenser mic. Something that like looks very studio-y and like official. You know, one of those. Blueberry wine sounds yummy. Yeah, I'd give it a shot. You know, like it sounds like more of a gourmet option, if you know what I mean. Like one of those things that like, not a heck of a lot of people make it, so therefore it's more of a delicacy. You'd have a bucket because water. You know, how would a bucket be used as a weapon? I'm sure there's some way. I don't even know. Somebody's probably gonna figure it out. About to give up on this cover. I have no clue what I'm doing. Aw. Smack someone with it? Smack someone with your bucket? Snab's disembodied claws. That would require you to have his disembodied claws. And I dare you to try it. This is a bucket. Dear God. I need someone to finish it. I can't leave this mean loop until somebody finishes this. Ow, thank you. There's more. No. There we go. I'm just like there's more to the bit. There's more to the bit. I need it again. I need more. I'm now stuck on an island called Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take you to Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego. Baby, why don't we go down to Kokomo? We'll take it. We'll get there fast, and then we'll take it slow. That's where we want to go. Mike Love is a son of a bitch. Sorry. Oh, man. I watched a documentary that was made by Todd in the Shadows talking about the Beach Boys, and yeah, Mike Love is kind of a tool. Wait, huh? Sorry. Everybody's coming in on the third act. They're just like, wow, what happened? I'm trying to remember the exact specifications about what happened. So, like, I'm sure that a lot of people know the Beach Boys, right? You know, like that old style, old school, sort of like surfer music from way back in the day. You know, round, round, get around, I get around, get around, round, round, I get around. You know, what does someone call? What does calling someone a tool mean again? I never understood that. You know what? Good question. I'm gonna look up the term tool slang, and we're gonna find the exact definition. Hey, Urban Dictionary, why not? Anyone who tries to act cooler than they actually are. Most tools are usually douchebags with negative self-esteem. Yes! that perfectly represents Mike Love right there. 100%. Why tool then? That's a good question. So let me see if where did the term come from? Slang sphere. The meaning of the term tool. The evolution of the term. Originally, the word tool referred to any instrument or device in the aid in particular function. Yeah, tool. But why is tool being used as a slang? The use of tool in slang can stem from several factors. Number one, manipulation. A person who is perceived as easily influenced or controlled may be labeled as a tool. Lack of independence. Individuals who fail to assert their own opinions or thoughts may be called a tool, indicating a lack of autonomy. Social compliance. People who follow trends or social norms blindly without critical thought may also be referred to as tools. Yeah, I kind of just like the definition of their douchebags. That makes the most sense for me. Also, thank you very much for the pie. Appreciated, Dr. Scraps. That makes more sense, though. Yeah, it does. But anyway, let me think. I'm not like really read up on the history of like the Beach Boys. So you know who the Beach Boys are? Like I described them, I specified. Old music group that basically made surfer rock and all of that jazz. And unfortunately, there was a lot of like infighting and a lot of controversy, like, you know, within the band itself, and like the band members fighting against each other and all that jazz. And there was one particular person, I'm trying to remember the name of the person, that was like basically treated like an absolute scumbag, but when they didn't deserve it. But like Mike Love is unfortunately one of the most famous members of the band, specifically because of how much of a freaking asshole he is. You know, treating a whole bunch of the band members with complete disrespect. In general, just acting like a he still sort of acts like a surfer dude bro, despite the fact that he's like well within his 60s and he probably shouldn't be. And he's making music that like really somebody in his 60s should not be making right now. That kind of thing. So he's got like a really bad reputation there. Oh, and not to mention the amount of internal lawsuits that are just keep on being flung back and forth within the band itself. Lots of infighting. Good God, lots of infighting. The Beach Boys are kind of like a mess and a half. But like one thing that seems to be consistent between like everybody's opinions is that Mike Love is a douche. And you know what? I'm comfortable with saying that because I've seen his personal opinions, and I have also like heard his particular music tracks, and like basically this is the dude that managed to get really lucky off the song Kokomo, and then basically tried to make a bunch of like bootleg Kokomos for the rest of his career. They just throw massive folders full of legal documents at each other like a water balloon fight. I mean, that's an amazing freaking image. Kill him. I wasn't gonna say that, but I see that Pierce was sending some messages here. God, I really wish that I could scroll up in my Mix It Up windows, which is Mix It Up is my my chat thing. Like I don't know, my chat window. Beach Boys used to be played in Disney California Adventure. It was very cringe. I could see that. I don't know. Whenever I think of Kokomo, I don't think about the Beach Boys. I think about Kermit the Frog. Okay? Because that makes me happy. All right? Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take you to Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama. That makes me happy. Did someone say Kermit the Frog? Hi-ho. What's that one line? Hold on a second. I'm gonna go and find the. I'm gonna find the quote. There it is. Kermit going, I'd like to go on record as being opposed to the use of violence for purposes of conflict resolution. However, then just shoots. That song makes me think of What We Do in the Shadows. What We Do in the Shadows. Oh, refreshment. Hold on a second. I cast Bitby as the next Kermit the Frog. No, I don't think I embody the character enough. I think I remember I had some conversations about What We Do in the Shadows with some friends. Yeah. I knew that sounded familiar. I'd love What We Do in the Shadows. Interesting. Comedy fantasy. Bit as Fozzie Bear, maybe. Waka waka! Kermit will forever make my brain think of Jenna Marbles' goofy-ass Italian Greyhound of the name. Oh. Yeah, I think I remember that Greyhound. I cannot hear hi-ho in a Kermit voice without thinking about DBZA and the episode of Bardog. Oh, yeah, right. Comfy says, I wasn't ready for how accurate that was. I have watched a lot of freaking Muppets and Sesame Street growing up. So, yeah. There are some phrases from, like, you know, both of those that are just fixated in my brain. Hey, Steve, do you ever think of the guy who takes a really long time to find a clue? Oops, sorry. Hey, how dare you? Steve is a national treasure, I will have you say. Sesame Street and Muppets, my special interest. Yeah. All right. You know, I said it before, and I will say it again. Like, and you know, I'm not the first person to have made this comparison, but VTubing really is just kind of new age puppeteering. It really is. It's just like, instead of being a bunch of felt and a whole bunch, you know, instead of me having a hand shoved directly up my ass, instead, it's like me sitting here, a bunch of ones and zeros, and like, you know, I have a thing that tracks my face, so it like moves my face dependent on, like, you know, how I move my stuff, and then I have hand trackers as well, you know, that kind of thing. And also, there's secondary movement as well. Like, that is a very big fixture of puppeteering, you know, just like giving a little bit more life to the characters on screen. Legit. Like, it really is sort of like new age puppeteering. Except, you know, a lot more anime. And a lot of, you know, physics in one particular part of the body for a lot of them. Actually, fun fact, there's one VTuber that I follow that they just recently got on the local news within their area, and they specifically got on the news because of their occupation of being a VTuber, and so to you know, to be a little bit more proper, they decided to go and like turn down the physics on their chest so that they wouldn't wiggle around as much on TV. Because they're just like, I don't think I want to suscept that to, like, you know, the normal individuals in the world. Like, you know, like if somebody's 60-year-old grandma was watching the news one day and they saw that happening on the screen, that's a little bit too much for normies. Let's not do that. VTubing, the land of great, enormous personalities. A bubblehead would probably be hella tricky to make into a real puppet. That's actually absolutely true. In fact, like, I've thought about the logistics of how exactly one would go about doing, like, the bubble rigging in the back there. You could probably, so my thoughts are, you could probably cheat the whole floating head thing. In fact, a lot of people tend to do that by just, you know, wrapping the floating head in the scarf and, you know, not actually drawing the floating head. You could do that with a puppet. As for the floating bubbles, on the other hand, I think if I were to do something like that, it would have to be like, I don't know, some kind of like wire, a flexible wire of some kind. Not impossible, but like, I think you could do it. Comfy says they clipped something. I'm gonna go and check and see what that clip was. Thank you, regardless. Ba-dum bum bum ba-dum 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 bum ba-dum bum bum ba-bum ba-bum. Let me go to my freaking page. There we go. What a visual. Okay. I'm too curious. I'm gonna watch this real quick. You know, I said it before, and I will say it again. Like, and you know, I'm not the first person to have made this comparison, but VTubing really is just kind of new age puppeteering. It really is. It's just like, instead of being a bunch of felt and a whole bunch, you know, instead of me having a hand shoved directly up my ass, Instead, it's like me sitting here. All right. Goodbye, context. All right. Thank you for the clip in, Comfy. I appreciate it. Let's see. Maybe you could bullshit it by marionetting the style for the puppets instead with the bubbles on certain strings. I think that's just getting a little bit too complicated, personally. Look at all the dinosaurs. Let's see. The issue there comes with getting a wire that is strong enough, but also blatantly obvious. Not blatantly obvious for the immersion. Yeah, but I think that at a certain point, I think a lot of people will just sort of like allow it to be there. Sort of like how, have you ever seen a puppet and you ever seen like their arms and like how they're attached to like a stick and the stick is like, pure jet black. And the entire idea is like you're supposed to be puppeteering in front of something that kind of makes that stick less clear or like apparent. However, like very often, if you look down, you can see the stick. You know what I mean? It's there. Except like you kind of like filter that out of your mind. Like you don't look at the stick all that much when it's moving. And I feel like you could probably do something very similar with like, a floating bubble rig of some kind. My thought was like getting a set of wires that was like a little bit more clear or gray. And I think that would be like a muted enough color that most people would not really actively look at it at that much. Or like, at the most, people will associate it with like dealy boppers or whatever the heck. Even then, like, I think that's what they're called. I know, the weird like bulbs on like on springs. Even then, if you can find thin enough, like usually those springs tend to be very visible on the dealy boppers. With a thin enough like wire, I feel like you could pretty much just completely like ignore it. Comfy says I'd be an easy puppet. Well, all this thought that I've been having kind of stems from like not necessarily making a puppet, but I mean, it's kind of all the rage now for if you're a big enough internet celebrity or a big enough internet influencer, you can get yourself a plush. And I always did wonder, how the heck would I go and make that happen as a plush? I'm not entirely sure. But the first thing I always thought was some kind of a wire system. Possibly. Now, how you would manage to, keep that hanging properly, I don't entirely know, but... Bitby wakes up one day and he's just a puppet. My nightmare. I would not be surprised if somebody goes and like just draws that. Thank you for the boba. Makes sense. Funny thing, my friend was recently talking about the 2 correct ways to be a hilarious human in a Muppets movie. Either play it completely straight or act just as wacky as them. I think human villains work really well in the Muppet movies. Specifically whenever they are like completely batshit off the wall insane. That's kind of like my interpretation. Like some complete lunatic who's just like these freaking these puppets. Being like super evil, just be like, I will defund the theater or something like that. And then all the Muppets have to get together to somehow manage to raise enough funds so that they can keep the theater. And they do it in silly hijink ways. Or, it doesn't necessarily have to be about the theater. It could be about them in space. Tim Curry treats himself like a fellow Muppet. Michael Caine treats the Muppets like a fellow actor. Yep, that's a good way to put it. Oh, shoot, sorry, that was me. I believe that was this computer. Yeah, ignore that. That was my Discord. Apologies. Nope. Yep. Me when I'm the villain and get my ass beat by puppets. Man. Unfortunately, I've been watching. I've been sitting down with the group, reading Homestuck, and I gotta say, I haven't thought of puppets the same way in a very long time. Especially when anybody references ass and puppet in the same sentence. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just live in blissful ignorance for the rest of your life. Trust me, you'll be happier that way. I've only seen one Muppet movie, and I don't remember which one it was. I've seen a couple of Muppet movies over the years. Oh, you know what's my favorite freaking Muppet movie of all time? Muppet Family Christmas. That's like my all-time favorite because it's such a warm movie. It's so nice. It's so fun. And also it's so laid back. It's not like super crazy budgets or anything like that. It's not like, oh my God, it's Jim Henson's next big break. It's like, no, it's just the Muppets coming together on Christmas to celebrate Christmas. And it's not just like the Jim Henson Muppets. It's also like Sesame Street. It's Fraggle Rock. And like, it's got caroling. It's got like so many musical numbers. It's got so many sight gags. Like it makes me so happy. And I enjoy it. So I've watched it so many times when I was younger. Like I absolutely recommend, if you have not seen the Muppet Family Christmas, do. It's so nice, so joyous. It is like a staple of my my Christmas and holiday, for sure. Sounds cozy. I'll give it a look. Yes, please. God, honestly, I've been thinking about maybe doing some kind of Discord watch along, and I am very tempted to maybe doing Muppet Family Christmas, possibly. Speaking of which, how much would it cost to get yourself a Muppet Family Christmas DVD? I'm looking it up. Oh, actually, it's on YouTube. Hey, no excuses! I wonder whether or not, like, is this going to be, like, taken down for copyright reasons? Oh, I love how the comments are turned off. Aw, man. That's unfortunate. Is this uploaded underneath the YouTube Kids app? Yeah, that's what it looks like. It makes sense. It's the Muppets. Makes sense. Oh, also, apparently it's available, archive.org. Okie dokie. Well, I'm not going to play any on the stream because, DMCA. But, it's there. Come to think of it, here, I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it over to you guys. Paste it in here. There we go. I'm curious. I already know about other stuff that affected internet culture, like Steven Universe and Undertale. So, like, should I eventually read it to know lore stuff? Hold on a second. Hold up. All right, you're talking about Homestuck, right? I would say that the best parts of Homestuck have made themselves known, and they are they're kind of affixed very well in pop culture. And I don't necessarily know if you need to read Homestuck to understand that. Like, it's kind of like you don't necessarily need to, like, what's a good way to put it? The history books are kind of one important thing. Now, the history books kind of leave off a lot of really important shit, like how there are a lot of people a part of our national history that were actually kind of scumbags. Not gonna lie. And I'm not saying that you don't have to look into stuff like that. Like, you absolutely can. That being said, however, don't be surprised if it turns out you go and you look up, like, the extra reading and be like, oh, oh, okay, well now I'm disappointed. You know what I mean? Homestuck, I feel, is it kind of lands in that category where it's like it was very groundbreaking. It was like really well done when it was built back then. However, there are elements of it that have not necessarily aged extremely well. Some of it has. Some of it has like it has aged amazingly well. But then there's other stuff that's just like, oh, okay, that's a slur now. Don't want to talk about that. You know what I mean? You definitely need to watch. At the very least, you need to like read Homestuck with the mentality in mind of like, this is a product of its time, and these are things that like maybe the people who originally made the comic and like contributed to it, maybe they don't actually line up with those beliefs anymore, or maybe they said stuff like back in the day on the internet that maybe they regret now, you know, like that kind of thing. Hey, okay, thank you very much, Nova. Have a good one. Yeah, as long as you keep the understanding of product of its time, once you read it, you'll start seeing it everywhere. It's one of those things where it'll make you unable to see certain things the same way. Yeah. I know that, like, you know, that there are elements of Homestuck that apparently are... they're referenced in, like, Undertale and Deltarune, which makes sense because, you know, Undertale was being made at literally the exact same time as Homestuck. And Toby Fox has just done a lot of work with Homestuck, so like for him, he, you know, it makes sense for him to make little nudges and winks for the thing. Megalovania is just Vriska's theme, right? Technically speaking, yes. However, Megalovania is more like it's the theme for a lot of stuff. I believe it was the theme for Professor Andonuts, I think is his name, in Earthbound, or like the Earthbound mod hack that he released for Halloween a while back. So that's kind of where it originally began, and then Toby decided to take it and then use it as Vriska's theme. Although it's not like fully Megalovania, it's like Megalovania plus an extra part put into it, so it is kind of Vriska's theme, like in part, kind of. And then Toby was just like, I'ma do it again, and took Megalovania, shoved it into Undertale, and now it's known as the funny Bone Man's theme. You know? And who knows? Like, for all we know, Toby is gonna like release Megalovania again for like a 4th time, except it's gonna be like, I don't know, the theme for like a funny little duckling that happens to have a revolver. You know what I mean? You don't know. He released it for Smash. That is true, though technically that I would say that still falls within the category of Sans' interpretation of Megalovania, because it came out alongside the DLC for Sans. I wouldn't really call it like its own individual release, you know. Megalovania is Toby Fox's theme at this point. Well, like, I forget exactly what it was, but like I think Megalovania, what was it? I think the interpretation of Megalovania is like, it's not necessarily any one person's theme. Rather, it is the indentation? What was it? I think indication. The indication that you have hit the end boss, essentially. Which is what he, you know, Toby has used it in many different instances in that exact same way. In fact, like, when he used Megalovania, I don't 110% know the context behind the use of Megalovania for Homestuck just yet. I know it happens. I don't know when that's going to, though. But I'm going to assume it is going to be used for, like, a major final boss, or, like, a major final scene with Vriska, and possibly with some other characters as well. If not final, definitely, like, a peak of Vriska's like power and abilities is what I'm guessing. And then of course, like, you know, it was used as a final boss theme for both Professor Andonuts and also for Sans in more or less the exact same way. So I guess if it's going to be used at all in Deltarune, it's likely going to happen with like a final cap boss. Something that like is Toby Fox's, all right, you got this far. Good for you. Now it's time to finish things. You know what I mean? The Lore of Megalovania, aka the one song that still reminds me of a nightmare I had that scared me out of Genocide Run. Ooh. That's terrifying. Between Andonuts and Sans could also be the theme for final boss at the end of their rope. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, Galactic says they posted a work in progress of Vessel Me. Interesting. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's breaking the fifth wall. Just like, what? Sans is in my sleep? Oh god, no. I can't deal with this pressure. Mapley says I made something cursed in MS Paint while high. Of course you did. That's what you do. You've done that so many times. Speaking of which, I'm just going to put this on the screen since it's relevant right now. I don't think I haven't like shown it on the stream yet, but I put it on the desktop for the stream PC, like in preparation, basically. Does anybody want to hang out with Fetus Bit? One day he's gonna grow up to be a big and powerful water elemental. I do! 2015 Undertale fandom thinks Sans can see beyond the fourth wall. The true knowledge is that not even the world of dreams is safe from intense hallucinations of Sans Undertale. Okay. I'm looking at this thing that Mapley drew. It's just you, completely intimidated by a fish. By a horrifying fish, man.
Oh my god. It's Sebastian. Everybody run.
Nightmare in question was getting stuck in the game and getting my ass beat by Sans. I distinctly remember waking up feeling aches all over, like I said, scared me out of Genocide runs. Yeah, I've never done a Genocide run for Undertale, mostly because, like, by the time I had finished up Undertale, like, properly, I just didn't have the motivation to do the whole, like, you know, kill all the other characters thing. I don't have a fish problem. You have a fish problem. Too chicken shit to play Genocide, and also I don't want to fight Sans. Yeah. Bit, if you don't plan on doing a No Mercy run for Undertale Yellow, can you at least look up Shiroba's fight for that run in your own time? Trial by Fury is the name of her theme in that run. Possibly. I'll think about that. Not gonna say for sure, because I've got the memory of a freaking gerbil, so. You know. Couldn't do Genocide run because Papyrus. Same with Deltarune, Snowgrave. I couldn't bring myself to hurt Noelle. I mean, like, Snowgrave is just freaking awful. I have not personally done it, but I've heard the legends of what it is, and like, blah, no. Carl says, I gave up at Undyne's fight in the Genocide route. Ah, so you killed all the Froggins.
How dare you?
Snowgrave just feels uncomfortable for me. No, I agree. Like, the problem is, like, you have such a goofy, silly freaking game with all of these characters that are super lovable, and then you are told, kill them. No, I'm not doing that. I refuse to do such a thing. Comfy says I have paint and 3D paint. I'm assuming paint is probably what you're looking for. I seem to recall Windows 11 does still have paint. It's just like they have modified it a little bit. Galactic says, I love Undyne the Undying. This is my favorite boss fight in Genocide. Mapley says, I'm not going to show the full image, only the facial expression I did on the other cursed masterpiece I did a little while ago. Okay. You're scaring me a little bit. Yeah, that's intimidating. Okay. I had to do something. What are we talking about? Oh, genocide. Basically. I got friggin' jump scared by Bit's head just turning 90 degrees. Oh, yeah, this. I love that part of my my friggin' model. It's weird. I'm technically I'm on a hinge, like right there. Pierce is currently playing Pokemon. Yeah, the fun kind. The one that isn't endorsed by a Pokemon company. Get your get all that excitement in now, because if you don't, DMCA and all that jazz, which it'll happen eventually when Pokemon Company stops trying to sue the ever-loving pants off of freaking Pow World. Galactic says, Bit, may I have permission to DM you the OST of Trial by Fury on Discord? If not, that's fine. Just figured I'd ask. If you want, you could post it over in the music channel, over in the public Discord. Like, that could work. Been around for a decade, and you need to supply your own ROMs to run it. Yeah, pretty much. So they haven't taken them down because, functionally they can't. Understandable. Here, let me ditch that real quick. All right. Palworld is unintentionally acting as a great big distraction for Nintendo while actual Pokemon fan works are off the side. I mean, that's my kind of crackpot theory at the moment. Mapley, did you do a clip? Hold on a second. Oh, yeah, here we go. Something went wrong? What do you mean? What do you mean something went wrong? Legally, they aren't distributing any copyrighted material. Yep, therefore they're basically safe. Though... what are we talking about? Genocide. Right. I mean, technically, this is correct. This is a correct statement. Don't make fun of me. I need to learn how to stop shrimping. My back hurts. There are a couple of things that I recommend for, shrimping and whatnot. One of them is, taking frequent breaks can help out significantly because it kind of, resets your posture. In fact, it gets your circulation going and all that jazz. But if you can't do that, I absolutely recommend getting yourself a better computer chair. Absolutely. The computer chair that I am currently rocking right now make me very happy. And I've owned this computer chair for, God, a really long time. Oh, hello, there's a Kyle in here.
Hi, CDC says hi, by the way.
Oh, hello. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rocking an office chair my dad found in a dumpster. We're pretty sure it was from the 70s.
If it worked, don't fix it, I guess.
The piston no longer works and it lost its back, but it still seats me.
Okay, I don't recommend that.
Well, no, it still has its back, it just lost the back covering.
Oh, understandable. Okay.
The
okay.
plastic case on the back of it.
Comfy apparently doesn't have room for a chair. Are you really? You sure? Oh, that's unfortunate. Because that's like I absolutely recommend that one. The chair acts as a chair, which is the most important part, I guess. But you could say the same thing about a rock. Ah, your room is teeny tiny. Let me see if I can pull up the chair that I currently have. I hate this. This placing of my keyboard is such.
I imagine you just getting up out of your seat and lifting up your chair.
Just look underneath the chair. Be like, oh, what is this? Oh, okay.
It's like, let me see if
It's
I
the
can pull
Model
up my chair.
972.
Let me just see if I can pull up my chair real quick.
No, I know this one by heart, actually. Because it's kind of like it's an infamous chair within the chair scene.
Infamous.
Yeah. And it's worth it. I bought it specifically because like it is absolutely worth it. Here, let me pull that up. Move my music to the side here. You're in the chair community bit? Nerd. Like, I looked this up around the time that I was looking for, like, a genuinely really nice chair, and I was like, I want something that is, like, sturdy. See, alright, you need a little bit of context. Up to this point, I had been buying computer chairs, like, every 2 or 3 years for the past, like, I think, like, 3 chairs, and I was sick of it. And so I wanted to get a chair that was, like, sturdy, comfortable, supports me really well, and also like won't just die within the span of like a couple of years. So what I ended up going for was this baby right here. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the IKEA Marcus. Which, like, funny enough, yeah, IKEA names all of their furniture off of like random names and such. And this guy has got the name of Marcus. This is kind of an infamous freaking chair within the scene because of its quality. Like, so the cost of this chair is $300. For a lot of people, that is going to push you away because, like, I know that some computer chairs you can get them for like $100, and I understand that fully, completely. However, you get what you pay for. And with this chair, what you get is a really nice mesh back, like, that actually does a fairly decent job of contouring to your back. It's also got a little bit of back support, like, you know, lower back support. Not a ton, but enough. The armrests are not, like, gigantic, but they're big enough that they will hold your arms fairly comfortably. I have got like a leather seat version of this, so, you know, the leather has not really worn down all that much, though I've had this chair for a really long time, so the material on it has kind of compressed over the years. But here's the kicker, here's the important thing. This thing, by itself, is so tall that you don't necessarily even need to use the compression cylinder in a lot of cases. Like, you could just have this thing like bottomed out to the ground and it'll be tall enough that for most people it'll work perfectly fine. The wheels haven't died on the dang thing. Now the headboard there actually has worn down significantly because I sort of lean my head back whenever I'm doing these live streams. So whenever I do crazy stuff like I'm rubbing the back of my head on my chair. So, Comfy says I need a short chair. Well, then this might not be the option for you then. I'm kind of being an evangelical for something that you can't even use. So the thing that really picked me up with this is that this chair is graded for 300 pounds. Like, if you are 300 pounds, this chair will sit you. However, like, I'm not 300 pounds, and I'm like, well, that means it's going to be able to sit me even better. You know what I mean? And yeah, like, ultimately, this is a very comfortable chair. It has a whole lot of, like, adjustments so that you can, like, lean back really freaking far. And yeah, it also allows you to, like, lift yourself up pretty high, too. Perhaps when I get a bigger room, I can. Possibly. But yeah, $300 well freaking spent. Heck, these things on the used market go for like $200. Like, if it's a good quality copy of the chair.
$400,000?
It cost $400,000.
$400,000 to fire that gun, huh? Yeah, money well spent.
Heavy mentioned.
Let's see. Galactic says my mom pretty much got a gamer chair for free since she canceled the order, but they sent it anyway. I still feel like you got ripped off. It's just like, they're like, they've been sitting in our warehouse for years and we don't want them anymore. Here, you take it. Oh, don't get a gamer chair. Don't do it. I know it looks fancy. I know it looks like it's going to be good for, like, sitting down at the desk, but it's not. Get an office chair. A nice, economic office chair. I know there's a lot of people that they preach Harman Kardon. In fact, let me look up Harman Kardon real quick. Thank you, Arm, for putting. Hold on. Here we go. Harman Kardon. They do speakers, apparently. That's interesting. Dead ass, that chair looks exactly like the chairs my high school had in both the yearbook's offices and the animation class.
They have good taste in seatwear.
I don't know. Was it Harman Kardon? Am I wrong about that?
Oh wait, are you talking about your chair or the chair you're looking at?
I'm looking at the chairs that I'm looking at. Maybe Harman Kardon was not the brand. Because it says they make speakers. I'm not sure if they sell. Okay, what was that one brand of chair then? Herman Miller? Was that it? Let me look that up. Found it. It's Herman Miller. It's not Harman Kardon. All right. Let me... Where is it located? I think I need to enable cookies on this freaking website. All right. OSHA says, I have to work today. Release me! Oh, no. Sag.
Yeah, I gotta work tomorrow. This isn't even voluntary overtime this time.
Ew.
Oh, I have to ask the important, frustrating question. Are you working Black Friday?
Oh, absolutely. Place would fall apart without me.
Oh, no.
I'll
I'm so
live.
sorry.
Usually do. Usually do.
I'll do work for you guys if you want. I need a job. I don't have the money for that. Nice idea in theory, but I've said it before and I will say it again. Like, I love the idea of getting help from people for, like, whatever I do, but if I can't, like, monetarily compensate people for it, reject it. I can't do that. Anyway, here, Herman Miller is the brand of chair in question I was thinking of, and they are known for making some bougie ass office chairs, and people swear behind them. And I believe them. I absolutely believe them when they say that they are apparently amazing freaking chairs. Like, they look amazing. They also look like they contour really well to your body. Like, you can see the back support. Like, you know, those two little nubs there, and I'm sure they're adjustable. I'm sure everything in this chair is completely adjustable. The problem is, Herman Miller chairs are stupidly expensive. Like, again, worth it. However, if you're not prepared for that... Here, let me go to their price book real quick. Price book for a new Aeron chair. Why must you hide it this deep on your website? I have to look into a PDF to find it. I think instead of looking it up on their website, I'm just going to go to, like, a place that sells Herman Miller chairs. Like Amazon, for example. Okay, that's not terrifying, but also, like... Oh, fuck. Okay, I did find one Herman Miller chair that's like $2,000. I don't know what makes it $2,000? That might be, somebody trying to inflate the price. Jesus freaking Christ. Most of these chairs, they sit around the $600 mark. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense, considering it's Herman Miller. And you know what? If you're sitting down for like an extended period of time every single day, and if you need a nice, comfortable chair to sit in, might be worth it, man. Might be worth it. I'm not going to stick my nose up at it because, like, they're actually a really well-known, high-quality chair. Oh, Carl has posted a picture of their chair. The chair I got at a yard sale. That looks like it was, like... That was made for, like, an Amazon Basics thing. That's, like... That... Oh, some very sad and unfortunate factory made that one. Oh, dear. If it works, though. Like, I'm not going to be too judgmental. I want a job where I'm sitting down for a long time, but at the moment, that is not the case for me. Yep. Can't be in the cards for everybody, unfortunately. I see the work in progress for the vessel. Very good. Very, like, beanish. My desk chair is just an old dinner table chair with 2 cushions on it. We do what we possibly can with what we got, is what I will say. Before, you were using a wooden dinner table chair. I have 2 sides. My desk chair is just an old dinner table. I was using a wooden dinner table. I don't know, the timing on that is just great. Comfy says, I want voice acting to be my job, but that absolutely may take a very long time. Abso-freaking-lutely it will. As somebody who has attempted to try and get into the voice acting sphere, I can tell you that, like, I feel that voice acting is more of something that you should consider looking into as a hobby. And if you get lucky, if you can break your way into the industry and get to know some really big, important people, and if you can net, like, consistent jobs on the regular, I would say you are probably you're probably good for, like, a voice acting career. That being said, though, I would not, like, at my current position right now, for me, as somebody who has been doing, like, random VO stuff for many, many years, it is still at a hobby case, because I've auditioned for many, many things, and I have been rejected for many, many things, sadly. He's just kind of one of those things. You gotta deal with it, which makes me sad. Makes a lot of people sad. I wouldn't say that, like, don't give up. Clearly, like, I mean, the reason you get into voice acting in the first place is not necessarily for the money or for the career of it. I would say go into voice acting because it is a passion of yours and something that you really want to do. That's my thought on it. And it is something that I am still very passionate about doing. Maddie says, my chaos will forever use my points to yeet objects at you. Of course. Of course. Manifesting by writing, I will be a professional voice actor over and over again. I don't remember that episode of Death Note.
I'm currently using a stone science desk as my primary computer desk.
Ooh. If it works, it works. Man, I've used like several random desks over the years. One time I had like this gigantic wooden corner desk. It was pretty good, but like I had used it for so many years and it was falling the frig apart. And it was made out of a bunch of really, really heavy, like, really heavy DIY parts. Like made out of particle board and whatnot. So it was sturdy. It was good, but also like not good at the same time. It was a weird dichotomy. I don't know. And then one day I finally made the decision that I no longer wanted to use that desk anymore. So like I wanted to move over to like a much thinner and more like ergonomic and easy to move sort of desk. And so in order to do that, I needed to get rid of my other desk. And to do that, I just said, you know what? I'm not saving this desk and nobody's going to use it. And so I got a hammer. And I was just like, bang. And let me tell you, didn't take that much effort. Because like over the many years of me using that desk, a lot of the joints and a lot of the things that like were holding it together, it wore down very, very quickly. Basically, I didn't even really need the hammer. All I needed to do was just like grab the corners of the desk and then like slightly slide it to the side. And then it sort of just like crumpled like an old like stack of cards. Like a house of cards, basically. Closest I've gotten to voice acting is my stupid hijinks in D&D. Definitely not confident enough to treat that professionally. Kind of like, I haven't been in the voice acting sphere a heck of a lot recently, but I will say, doing the Homestuck streams over at Synth's place has really invigorated me. Like, it's given me a lot more, like, I'm not going to say that I'm great at doing the voices or anything, but it has definitely sort of, like, loosened me up a little bit and made me enjoy voice acting a lot more, as opposed to, like, recording a voice audition, sending a voice audition in, getting rejected, and then having to, like, do the process all over again. It's like, no, I'm just doing funny voices just for this, the sake of the joke. Yay! Carl needs to get rid of their old wardrobe from their closet. Hey! How old is this wardrobe we're talking? Or is this one of those, like, you've been collecting for years and years and it's finally time to just yeet? You audition for an indie project and you really hope you get it. Crossing my fingers for you, Comfy. Galactic said, did I hear D&D? I don't know a lot about D&D.
I do.
Oh no. I'm lost and confused. I don't know the tabletop paper thingy. Carl says, I've been playing through Deltarune with my friends. I get to voice act for them. Ooh, very nice. Maddie says, it probably doesn't help that for some reason I cringe at myself when my friends try to teach me how to do voice warm-ups. Yeah, it's a little bit awkward, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of people that when they hear their own voice, like, people sort of cave internally into themselves.
Yeah,
like,
I'm one of those. That's why I can't listen to your stream while I'm in here.
yeah, pretty much.
I just implode every time.
Do you guys want to hear a fun fact? The way that I have my stream set up is I like to make sure that everything is running like at an optimal level for everything, including the audio levels. And the only way to do that is to hear like the stream output through my like monitors, and that outputs all the audio for everything, including my voice.
That is its own ring of hell.
I hear my voice constantly in my head. Oh fuck, dude. That's just comfy. It's okay. I've learned to I've learned to understand it. Maddie says, "I hate my social anxiety." Sparkles. I could never, guy. It was difficult at first, but I've gotten better at it. You know, it does kind of act like a speech jammer in some capacity, but like I get over it over time. Especially since the preview is kind of lagless for the most part. You know, it doesn't have like the 100 milliseconds of delay where you're just like, what? You know, what? Ooh, we're talking about dice over in the YouTube chat. My favorite set was a graduation gift from a teacher of mine. Really? That's neat. Ooh, was it any sort of like special type of dice, or like, you know, any particular color? Was it like specially embroidered somehow, or? I'm curious. Because I've seen some fancy freaking dice. I'll say that is one thing that I do see on my TikTok For You page that, like, I do stop to watch every now and then, where I'm just like, ooh, funny dice.
I'm Mr. King Dice.
A Gemini set, they're black and red with gold ink. That is, ooh, that sounds fancy. Holy shit. Maddie says, I want to get to a point where I can make silly voices for one OC of mine, but brains say I am cringe when friend walk me through warm-ups to work on getting better. Yeah. A lot of voice acting is just kind of getting past the cringe. Oh, Pierce is talking about the new Defunct Land. I have not seen it, and I am intimidated by this man. I was scrolling through my my Blue Sky feed, and I got the recommendation for it, and it's just like 4-hour long Defunct Land, and I'm like, ah!
4 hours?
I was just like, I thought the thing about the, you know, the Disney Channel theme was gonna, that was pretty long. I didn't think it would get any worse. Holy fuck. The pigment is metallic as well, so they're very shiny. Very nice. You'd hate Wendigoo's video then. I think I've seen Wendigoon's stuff a couple of times. It's not really my cup of tea. He covers a lot of, like, you know, horror-themed story things and, like, cryptids and things, and I was just like, eh. It's about the history of Disney's animatronics. Yep, I know what it's about. I'm just like, I'm sitting there being like, okay, well, I have to pick a specific time and date when I actively sit down and enjoy this. Yeah, sure, Galactic, send a picture my way through, like, the Discord, I guess. the bit where he talks about the Walt animatronic they made? Are you talking like, oh yeah, the animatronic of Walt Disney that like Disney made? Yeah. Disney actually made an animatronic Walt for an attraction. Mm-hmm. I'm not shocked. That sounds exactly like one of those things that Walt Disney would love. He's just like, look, I can be here 24/7, anytime, anywhere. And I can speak with my guests. Yay. Not uncanny at all. Nope. Why though? I think the question that like entrepreneurs like that were asking back in the day, it was not why. It was why not. You know?
Finished up with the Falconeer and Bulwark.
The whatty who where?
The Falconeer and Bulwark. The Falconeer Chronicles.
Falconeer and Bulwark. What game?
The games.
The games.
The games. The Falconeer. And the other game. Bulwark. The Falconeer Chronicles.
Let me look this up. Bulwark. Ah, I see. I'm being recommended somebody's freaking live stream on it over on... How many people actually go and watch live streams through Steam? I must ask, like, because it seems like there are a few people that try and use that platform, and I'm just like, why? The Falconeer Revolution Remaster.
Yeah, they just remastered the game recently.
Ah, okay. Okay, I'm immediately seeing an eagle with like a laser gun on their back, so they immediately
Yeah.
win.
Think like Ace Combat or Project Wingman, but fantasy.
That is rad. Holy shit. When was this game originally released?
Oh god, that had to be 2021?
Okay. The release date for Falconeer Revolution Remaster is 2020.
Oh yeah, that had to be it.
But
No,
you
the
said this was a
remaster-
remaster of like a game that had already existed.
Yes, the game had Oh, hold up.
Ooh, Comfy ordered a case for their computer.
Sorry, I was in the middle of a fight. Where were we?
This is a remaster for a game that had already been released, right?
Oh, it replaced the game that already existed.
Interesting. Okay.
The remaster replaced the game.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So it says that it was released in 2020.
Mm-hmm. I see. So they just recently did a remaster, but it
Yes.
says 2020. Very confusing. Understood. I'll say, as long as they like upgrade everybody over to the remastered version, and they
Oh,
don't
yeah.
like, you know, they don't act
Anybody
like
who-
complete scumbags like freaking Planetary Annihilation did.
Anybody who owned the game beforehand got the upgrade for free. Anyone who
Alright.
buys the game afterwards just buys the game, I guess.
Yeah, all right. Oh, it's also on sale right now for like $10.
That
Very
was a
neat.
decent play. I like the world.
Oh, so I see that these are both games that are made by the same developer. All right.
Yes.
Hmm.
Bulwark takes place 40 years into the future.
Ooh. All righty.
Bulwark is a very different game. This he's an absolute mad lad, by the way, Mr. Tom Sala. But he likes to explore and experiment with different gameplay styles.
I
The
like that in
Falconeer,
a
I
game dev, honestly.
I say it was like Ace Combat or Project Wingman. There's a little more nuance to it. Otherwise, it's a good dogfighter.
Neato.
Bulwark is a very different game in which it's a chaotic city builder.
Mm-hmm.
You get 2 controls, one to move about and one to build things. You don't get to select what you build. Sorry, what you build is context-based, I should say.
Very interesting.
So I guess that kind of genre would be a chaotic city builder?
I mean, it sounds like a little bit real-time strategy city builder, kind of.
It has some real-time strategy elements, I guess. It just plays very differently from anything I've ever played before.
See, Thomasala, I like their drive.
Yay.
You know, trying out different game combinations and things. Very good. Also, OSHA said that they had to go to work, and also Comfy says, I think I gotta go. Okie dokie. I hope you guys have a very nice night. And also, good luck at work. Good frickin' lord.
Have a good one.
Yay. Man, see, and then there's me, who is like sitting in the back, just being like, give me the exact same game experiences over and over again because I'm scared.
That's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I'm familiar with.
I'm just like, I need something familiar in this world that's constantly changing and confusing the hell out of me. Dude, the other day I was like, I just recently played through Enter the Gungeon again. That game is like, how old? 2016. Fuck.
Yup.
That game's almost 10 years old. Galactic's asking, what's my favorite Silk Song boss theme? I'm gonna... So, I haven't actively gone and listened to the boss themes, like, clearly and intently yet. Mostly because I don't want to be spoiled of any particular bosses. I'm not really gonna know the answer to that until, like, I finish the game and I actively sit down and sort of, like, absorb and digest that a little bit. So, yeah, I can't say right now, but I'll have an answer eventually.
You're talking about Silk Song?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to send you some Carbot videos, because Carbot Animation started doing videos on Silk Song. I thought better
Right.
of it.
It doesn't have spoilers, though.
Potentially, which is why I thought better of it.
Yeah. I play video games at a complete snail's pace because I space them out by week. So
Yep.
it takes me a friggin' while. Your favorite is The Widow, says Galactic. All right. Very interesting. I think one of my favorites from Hollow Knight was Hornet's theme, just because of how, like, light... Thank you for the frickin' pie. Just because of how light and delicate the theme was. You know? Like, it had a lot of, like, you know, energy and, like, you know, craziness to it, but also it was, like, you know, so, like, fanciful and, you know, that kind of thing. It's really difficult to describe it exactly. I don't know. Shoulder is now itchy because I took off the patch for my ADHD med. There are patches for ADHD meds? What? That's new. I haven't heard about that. Tie between Hornet and Mantis Lords. Yeah, Mantis Lords was pretty good. My favorite song is always going to be Sealed Vessel, I'm Dying on That Hill. Let me look up. Here, you say you will die on that hill. All right, all right. We'll put that to the test. We'll give it a little bit of a listen, why don't we? All right. Sure. It's a little bit quiet because it's currently streaming in through the game PC audio. You have methylphenidate patches for ADHD. Interesting.
Something weird happened with the lighting engine between games 1 and 2. Look at the Hunts Marshal here. He's looking pretty mean. Look at the Hunts Marshal here. He went from Marshal My Men to Marshal My Methamphetamines.
What the fuck? Yeah, I remember this one. Very scary. Very tragic, though. I don't think we're going to listen to all of it. However, yeah, I do agree. It is definitely good, for sure. Oh. Can we also listen to NKG? Are you talking about, like, Nightmare King? And this one's just, like, badass. Oh, the phases definitely, like, you know, hit you. Especially, like, when you get to, like, the final little portion of the boss fight for the sealed, like, you know. I don't know, I'm hearing this music, and it's just bringing back, like, PTSD. Because I'm just like, oh no, not again. I'm fighting the bastard again.
It's all in your head. It's all in your head.
It's all in my head. It's all in my head.
Get out of my head! Get out of my head!
Get! POV when Pokemon players fight Cynthia. See, I don't know the reference to that one because I haven't played a Pokemon game in freaking years, unfortunately. In general, the music of freaking Hollow Knight is, like, amazing. There we go.
Cynthia, wasn't she the one who rode around on top of a giant Electabuzz with a minigun?
I have no idea. No clue.
Oh, no, wait, I'm thinking of Pal World.
Oh. Very good on storytelling, in my opinion, even without dialogue or visuals.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that's, like, the best freaking, the best, like, type of music in general. Ones where, like, you know, it's got good, I don't know, like, like, music that's good at doing the storytelling without even giving you what the story was to begin with. Ooh, I'm taking a look at the dice here. Oh, the dice look very nice.
Nice dice.
Very shiny. Carl wants to eat them. Mmm, crunchy.
You feeling lucky?
Do yourself a favor and please look up Verse Cynthia right now. Trust me, it's good theme. Well, I'm going to make the assumption that this wouldn't get me, like, you know, taken out via, like, a copyright bot or, like, you know, something like that. I probably heard this, honestly. Like, In fact, like I'm getting like an interesting. I don't know. This looks very familiar to me. So we'll see. Oh yeah, I've heard this. Absolutely. I think I've heard this in like several funny like, video compilations on YouTube of like crazy shit. Now that's just for the the original. Let's listen to the brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl version, which I know a lot of people talk shit about the Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond versions, but I mean, music still slaps, you know what I mean? Oh. Kind of like having your ears cleaned out. In both, like, you can hear it clear, and also it sounds like there's a drill in your ear. Very nice. Also, I'm getting recommendations for, like, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney music now, too. Accurate. Currently waiting for my sugar cookie bars to cool off. Meanwhile, I am making Boop the Clown art. What an interesting combination of things to be happening at once. Cynthia is a tough as hell champion, especially in Nuzlocks. I feel like if you were to go up against Cynthia in a Nuzlocke, it's basically just like, well, time to say goodbye, old friend. Pierre says, one of my favorite Pokemon songs is the Boutique theme from X and Y.
Boutique. Boutique.
I'm assuming this is it. Wait. Take a listen to this guy. James? Storytime animator called Jaden Animations did it. She made a storytime video for that Nuzlocke. Oh, I don't think I watched that particular video from Jaden. I've watched a couple of story times from Jaden. Like, I'm big fan. The most recent one, like, enjoy very much. But I think like the Pokemon part of it, I was just like, I'm kind of out of the loop on Pokemon. Yeah. I'm a walk away. I don't feel like it. Yeah, Heart Gold, Soul Silver has like a really, really good soundtrack. Let me look that up. Versus Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Emerald.
Just randomly out of nowhere. Emerald.
Sorry, I thought we were talking about the last Pokemon game we played.
Man, the last one that I played, it was I think it was Pokemon Sapphire, if I remember right.
Yup, that checks out. We're about on the same boat.
Galactic says, "Oh wow, you're out of the loop. Don't make fun of me. I'm a Gen 1er. You can't do that to me." Pierce says, "This one sounds like Last Christmas to me, and I cannot unhear it." Do tell. Yep. No, agreed. Agreed. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I love it, don't get me wrong. But, like, you hear it, and you're just like, I'm waiting for the Siva Gunner rip where it turns into Last Christmas. Yeah, there's a Siva Gunner. Yep. Yeah, that sounds about right. Do 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 do. So fun. What was trying to remember which specific I think it's the Alpha Sapphire themes that like really get to me, because like they did an amazing job on the remakes for all like the Ruby and Sapphire music. In fact, you probably have heard this particular track a couple of times in my intros. This just it brings me back, man. It brings me to like a much simpler time. A time that was just very chill and made me happy. Oh, you found the rip. Okay, here we go. It's either Last Christmas or Stand By Me. One of the two. There it is. Very next day, gave it away. Yeah. You unhinged bastards. What the frick was that? What? This YouTube page is breaking on me. What the frick? Everything just suddenly like scrolled for a while. What's my favorite Mega Pokemon that you know of? Pikachu. That sounds so generic, and I'm sorry, but like honestly, it's very true. Mostly because like Mega Pikachu is literally just fat Pikachu, and it brings me nostalgia and happiness. And also, he goes, "Pee." How can you not like that? Pokemon Black sound font goes hard. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. Let me. What was Oh, I think I have a folder of all of the Pokemon, like Ruby and Sapphire music, if my memory serves me right. Let me go and look for it. Here we go. That's Gigantamax, you bitch. I'm sorry, what? Hold on a second. Hold on. Did I make a serious... Wait, did I fuck up? Damn it. Did I just do a boomer? Oops. I don't know what Mega Evolution is, I'm sorry. Don't kill me.
I've been gone for a while.
Gigantamax and Mega Evolution are two different things! Help. Help. I'm being bullied. This is cyberbullying. I will not stand for it. All right, I'm trying to find this one particular track. Is this it? Yes. Okay. So I just wanted to like I wanted to punctuate something specific here, and that is like, okay, so when I originally played Pokemon Sapphire, I played it on like the good old Game Boy Advance, and I remember the sound font for the Pokemon for the Game Boy Advance. It was not good. And to punctuate this, let me play this for you real quick. This is Route 104. The best description I can give you is farty trumpet. That is what I hear whenever I hear this song. Melody's fine, don't get me wrong, like it's fine. The melody is perfectly fine, but the instruments are awful. But you know, when you're a kid, you're just like, well, this is a mobile game and I have to make some sacrifices, so I guess we'll go ahead and we'll live with this. However, then they re-released Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and they redid the music. Are you guys ready to have your ears cleaned out? Give me a second. My computer is trying to open this up in like the standard media player. Get out of here. There we go. Yay! Yay! Somebody got the corn cobs out of our ears. Yeah! It sounds so good. Oh, sorry, Maddie. I actually have like limitations for who can leave links in the chat, because I don't want there to be spam bots that are just like, hey, you want more followers? So, yeah. Massive apologies on that one. There's a reason why the GBA had such terrible sound, actually. Really? Fun facts with Pierce. I'm curious about that. Yay. I have that music on standby. that tells you just how much I really enjoy that particular like remix. I was just like, oh, it sounds so good. Do you know who built the original SNES sound chip? Well, now I'm going to look this up. SNES sound chip creator. Who did this? How to make 16-bit music. No! That's not what I want. Sound chip edit. Onaholic. Fucking... There's a thing for Shigeru Miyamoto, but I doubt that's probably it. I'll give you a hint. They also create... Oh. Oh, I'm starting to understand things now. Oh, no. Okay. Thank you for the can. So, they also created the PS2. Sony made the chips for the SNES, and the SNES sound chips sound pretty good, but like, who... I'm going to make the assumption that, like, because there was a nice little divorce separation between Sony and Nintendo at that point, so somebody else had to make chips for the GBA, I'm assuming. Their solution was to not include a dedicated sound chip. Well, that makes a hell of a lot of sense. All right. God damn it. Why does divorce have to destroy so many things? God damn it. That's unfortunate. Pokemon Art Lock is a variation of Pokemon Nuzlocke Challenge that requires players to draw every Pokemon they catch and also draw how many Pokemon faint or die. In graphic detail? It's the first thing I think is just be like, I don't know if I want to do that. Ah, yes. Died by electrocution. Just seeing their smoldering corpse on the ground. The GBA doesn't have one. All sounds have to be generated on the CPU, which means the sound has to fight for resources with the entire rest of the game's logic. Interesting. So that explains why, like, in certain sequences of Pokemon, I remember I would, like, you know, I would be walking around and such, and I would be like, you know, there would be some other thing that was making noise at some point in time, and, like, I would hear the background music kind of, like, cut out a little bit. This makes a lot of sense now, actually. Yes, that makes perfect sense. Well, I'm glad that Nintendo now doesn't have to worry about stuff, you know, having dedicated sound chips and whatnot, or, well, you know, the dedicated chips in general are much better, I'll say. And they can use, like, you know, full audio sampling and, you know, better MIDI instruments. Which make me makes me happy. Let me go to the soundtrack for. Actually, funny enough, do I have? No, I don't. I don't have this. I remember that when I was, like, you know, playing on my Game Boy Advance back in the day. If a dev knew what they were doing, they could get some really good emotional music out of the GBA, but it was hard. Okay, well, let me see what this is. Oh, Mother 3!
I shall return.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna stop that because Nintendo is gonna send, like, you know, assassins to my door. I'm trying to really think, like, what other music do I remember there being in oh shoot. There was one more in particular that I was just like, I remember there being such a dramatic difference. Here's a safer one. Oh, a cover? What? Hey, hold up. Sunset Hill Act 3. What the fuck? What is this? I'll say it's a little bit rough. Just a little bit. But maybe that's just, you know. Okay, I'm fine with, like, you know, the Sonic the Hedgehog main theme. So this is cool. So, random aside here. Here's like Ruby Sapphire surfing theme, which, like, I remember listening to it a lot when I was playing it back in the day. It's fine. You know, it's okay. Let me see if I can find the, oh, here it is. And now, here's the comparison. Ah! There's actual percussion for once. Yeah, freaking this makes me want to surf across the sea. Holy crap. Oh, you got one more song here. All right, let me take a listen to this guy. Ooh, Castlevania, Ario Solo. Sorrows. Sorrow.
You're doing great.
I'm doing great. MIDI, electric guitar. Ooh. I could definitely see this having some really baller covers and like remixes. Because like melody-wise, ooh, very strong.
I'll be right back again.
Alrighty. But it does sound like it's like a little bit of a limited palette. You know what I mean? Guitar samples work really well with the limitations of the GBA. Yeah, I think so. Here. While we're talking about random music trivia and whatnot, there was one thing that sort of came across my my brain. Here, let me look up. It's but it's there we go. He's this guy. Oh, this game was remixed for Xbox 360 game years later. Really? Hold up. Oh, okay. This looks like an actual like album cover. Hold on. Let me check this real quick. Uh-oh. Okay, yeah, I see. I opened up the description menu and it is content ID-ifiable in the on YouTube. Okay, we're gonna avoid that. I'm sure it's good. I just hate copyright and content ID and just all that garbage. But I know it's there for a reason. I'm aware of that. I'm not gonna be too much of a stickler about it. Anyway, what was that? Let me see if I can find. Here. In playlist from hold on a second. How do I search for like, people that before, during, after, in, pinned. I'm trying to find author, type. No. Where are you? Have you ever heard of the surf theme for Pokemon Black and White? Asking because, in my opinion, it was one of the best. I don't know if I probably have, but I'm gonna take a listen to it right now. Okay. Surf theme extended. This was still the era where they were using like kind of farty trumpets. At a certain point, they were just like, yeah, this sound sample isn't going to work anymore. We need to like we need to punch this up a little bit. All right. I currently have my my Discord unmuted at the moment. So here we go. All right, I'm going to remute it just so that it doesn't make any noises. Oh, you were watching Casper Scare School. Interesting. We're just talking about like Pokemon music and like game music in general right now, and I'm enjoying myself. This is a subject I haven't really touched all that much. All right, so this is right here one of my personal pet peeves when it comes to stuff that gets uploaded to the internet. Let me see if I can pull this up. I think is this a good example of what I'm talking about? Yes, I think it is. Possibly. Yes, absolutely. Oh, everybody is just like, Game Corner! I don't even need to say shit. You guys know. You're aware. Freaking bass as hell. But here's a little bit of a pet peeve that I have when it comes to like any music that is uploaded to YouTube from like, you know, the Game Boy, basically the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advance era, or just anything in general. Whenever they add a little bit of reverb to the song, that bugs the shit out of me. Take a closer listen real quick. I mean, it sounds good, don't get me wrong. But you hear that and you're just like, hold up. There's clearly like a weird sort of echoey tin in the background. That's not right. Meanwhile, just upload it straight. Don't be fancy. Don't be crazy. Just upload it the way that it was originally, you know, composed. All right?
Don't be like, oh yeah, I've remastered it for the new era.
No, you didn't. You went and you threw an echo effect in on like Adobe Audition. Shut the fuck up. I know that the reason why people do that is because they're like, oh, well, you know, it's really shrill and it's really difficult on the ears to hear, especially for like, you know, newer generations that didn't really grow up with it. I don't give a rat's ass. This is how it sounded. And if you wore headphones while you were listening to this, like if you had like one of the headphone adapter things so that you could plug it into your Game Boy, come to think of it, was there an adapter or did it just come natively with a headphone jack? I don't even remember. Regardless, if you were listening to it with headphones, this is what was being pumped directly into your ears. You didn't have the like benefit of being like, oh hey, it sounds like I'm listening to it in a nice quiet room. Just shut up. I remember the Game Corner in Heart Gold and Soul Silver pretty fondly, though. I sucked at the little card minigame it had. Do you? Was there a... Hold on a moment. Was there a Game Corner in Heart Gold and Soul Silver? I don't recall. Hold on a second. I need to look this up very quick here. The building was there, but I don't think you could do anything with it. That's what I seem to remember. Also, let me look this up real quick. Farty trumpet. Farty trumpet. So I don't remember which Pokemon game it was, but there was a Pokemon game where rather than giving you the game corner, I guess they were really worried about the potential for, like, you know, gambling and teaching kids how to gamble. And let's be fair, yep, times have changed. You definitely don't want to be advertising the idea of, like, you know, slot machines to kids. That's not okay. So instead, they just said, like, oh, the game corner is shutting down after many years of operation. And then, like, they basically just gave you a bunch of the prizes for free, or, like, there were other ways that you could get those prizes. Pokemon Let's Go just removes the minigame entirely from its game corner. Yeah. That's about right. I understand it. You know what I mean? It's one of those, like, yeah, as a kid, maybe I shouldn't have been playing this, like, glorified gambling simulator inside of a Pokemon game. Like, that was probably not all right. Oh, it was Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. All right, so hold up a second. Because I think there is at least a remix of the song for Omega Ruby, maybe? Oh no, Timmy Turner's granddad. I'm not falling for that shit. Don't you be funny. All right, well, now I'm curious. What's Timmy Turner's granddad version of Game Corner for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire? What did you do? Oh, okay. All right. Warning, I don't know what's beyond this, but it might be bad. I'm gonna skim this real quick. Okay, there's no crazy video images.
This is illegal. This is illegal, you know.
Peggy 18.
Peggy 18 for gambling. What the fuck is this? I don't know the reference. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's going on here. It's good, don't get me wrong. I just don't know the reference to this. Wait. People in the comments are saying Sinnoh. This is not the Heart Gold Soul Server version of the Game Corner. I know it's not that. Because the Heart Gold and Soul Silver Game Corner version is this. Still a bop and a half. So what the heck was the word? What did I just hear? Maple says they sent me something in DMs. Okay, I'm terrified. What the heck did you send? Oh! It appears to be scraps, except they're currently devouring ribs.
Delicious. Delicious ribs.
Disgusting. That was Diamond Pearl Game Corner. Okay, thank fuck. I was just like, I'm not losing my mind, right? What is happening? Oh, all right. Okay, good. I mean, this is a bop and a half. I like this. Yay. Oh, Galactic says, gotta go. My sleep meds are kicking in. Alrighty then. Have a very good night, Galactic. In my defense, my dumbass played both Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, and Heart Gold, Soul Silver at the exact same time. My childhood memories probably got blended. Hey, fair. Yeah, that sounds about right. What did I? Oh, Mapley posted the picture. Have a very good night, Mapley. Sleep well. I do really like this one. It's a Siva Gunner, but it is good. Okay, well, I'll check it real quick. Just to make sure it doesn't do something horrendous. Okay, no copyright whatsoever on it, so let's see what happens. I didn't know that Pokemon was having an ET mashup. That's a deep joke. You're gonna have to think about that one for a second. The joke is that ET flies in front of the moon. Anyway, when Psyduck goes to the moon. Yeah, no, exactly. This is Quackers right here. Oh, you know what's really sad? There's a game that I really badly have wanted to play for the stream for many, many years that unfortunately I can't because Disney is evil gremlins. So you know DuckTales, the NES game, right? I think everybody does. Well, there was a remaster for it that was released a really long time ago, and it was done by WayForward, the same people that make Shantae. And apparently, well, not even apparently, I've played it. It's good. Not only did they like completely remaster and like create a new DuckTales like game, like they remake the original NES game, but not only that, but they add a whole bunch of extra lore attached to it as well, and like they bring in a bunch of the original voice actors, including, you know, the voice actor for Scrooge McDuck, who is like, you know, really old at the time of doing the recordings, and like it's such a crazy thing. Like if you were nostalgic for DuckTales back in the day, you would have freaking loved that. Unfortunately though, I can't really do that for the stream. Oh well, technically I could, but I would have to swallow a lot of pride and deal with a lot of content ID shit, because Disney, in all of their vast wisdom, has taken the music for DuckTales Remaster and uploaded it to the Content ID system. So, if you play any of that music at all, on anything, you end up getting flagged for copyright stuff. Ask me how I know. But yeah, unfortunately, like, all of that work that WayForward ended up doing for that game, unfortunately, I can't really showcase it. Or, you know, if I did showcase it, I'd have to come up with some means of, like, having it not get flagged by a copyright system. I don't like that. That bugs the ever-loving hell out of me. It sucks because the remixes for that game were done by Jake motherfucking Kaufman, aka the Shantae music composer, aka, let me look up Jake Kaufman real quick, because it's not even just that. Jake Kaufman might be one of my personal favorite, like, composers of like the most recent era, because he's done so many amazing freaking soundtracks. Like, so he's done the music for Shantae, which is freaking awesome. He also did the music for the DuckTales remaster, and he did a tremendous job. Like, the music for that is like genuinely bops and a half. But he has also done music for games such as Double Dragon Neon. He has done the music for Mighty Switch Force. He's done the music for freaking Shovel Knight. Dude's amazing. Dude's got like a really good knack for like freaking melody. And yeah, that's a real shame that like something that he worked on is unfortunately like shackled to Disney and like will not really see the light of day much anymore. Make me sad. And Crypto the Necrodancer, yep. He's done a little bit of Crypto the Necrodancer as well. Like, holy freaking crap. Dude's done a lot of stuff. Actually, let me go to Jake Kaufman's IMDb, because like that's where you're gonna find a lot of his stuff. Oh, he did Red Faction Gorilla Remastered. That is a terrible pun. That is evil. Retro City Rampage. Yep, there's another one. That's huge. What else we got? Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Holy motherfucking god. OKKO Let's Be Heroes. Like, my god. He has done... Scrolling through here. There's a Mighty Switch Force Academy? What the heck is that? What the frig is that?
I missed this. What is this? I have to look this up. What are you?
On Steam. What is this? This was released in 2015. How did I not hear about this? What kind of game is it? Also, sorry if there's no music currently going on. Hold on a second. There we go. He also worked on Mina the Hollower, the new game from Shovel Knight devs, which he worked on alongside Yuzo Koshiro. I probably know them. I'm going to look them up real quick. I'm sure they've done some amazing stuff. Let me see. There are several pictures online of him sitting in front of pianos. So that should tell you a thing or two. Wait, what the... I found a link for Yuzo Koshiro Red Bull Music Academy. What the fuck? What do you mean? What do you mean? Ah, he's done a lot of Sega games. Also, Pierce has sent a link. Ah, okay. Streets of Rage. And also, yeah, that music is, like, content ideable. Can't listen to that. But, yes. What other things has Yuzo done? Hold on. Here. Wikipedia, save me. Alright. Yeah, his legacy goes all the way back to, like, 1968. Xanadu Scenario 2. And scrolling through here, let's see if I like see anything that like immediately grabs my attention. Revenge of Shinobi. I think I've heard of that. ActRaiser. Deb. Hello. Good God. Streets of Rage. Motherfucking Sonic the Hedgehog. He did the music for the Master System and Game Gear versions. Not necessarily the original like compositions, but still big freaking thing. Let me see. Streets of Rage 2, obviously. ActRaiser 2, makes sense. More Streets of Rage, of course. Shenmue! He's done music for freaking Shenmue. Good God. Castlevania, Portrait of Ruin. He did some of that music. He did arrangements for Super Smash Bros. Brawl. That makes sense. Oh, he did some music for Leighton Brothers Mystery Room. Holy fuck. I didn't know that. Freaking cool. Did some music for, oh yeah, Portrait of Ruin. Yeah.
Mm.
That is jazzy, but that works for Castlevania. The game my cousin bullied me on a lot. Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Sorry to hear that. Here, I'm gonna put that in the background for a little bit here. Oh yeah, Project X Zone. I totally forgot that was a thing. Yeah, so he's done arrangements for like a bunch of Super Smash Bros. Games. So yeah, there we go. He's got like Nintendo DS and Wii U listed there. He did some arrangements for Secret of Mana 2017. So cool stuff. Oh, and yeah, he did arrangements for Ultimate. That makes a lot of sense. Streets of Rage 4. That must have been freaking cool. Just be like, yay, I get to work on this music for this series that I am very well known for. He did music for Wonderful 101 Remastered, which is very interesting. And yeah, in 2025, he's done a couple of tracks for Mina the Hollower. Yeah. So, yeah, got quite the frickin' legacy of that one. Portrait of Ruin is specifically a sequel to Castlevania Bloodlines on the Genesis, so it makes sense to hire a Sega composer for that. Yeah, that makes sense. Didn't even let me ever play Lucario and Hogdom to just beat me as them until I spammed Meta Knight and learned how disrespectful the side attacks were. So wait, he would take Lucario and like, so what was the rule? You can only choose like one specific character, and like you couldn't double up on the characters? Because like mechanically you could just pick 2 Lucarios. I'm sure there were some technicalities with that. I'm sure it was just like, no, I chose Lucario. You gotta choose a different character now. Which, you know, that there is a little bit of like honor in, you know, an honor system with that, but although that's what makes it, you know, makes Smash Brothers fun. You know, a hypothetical situation where Mario has to fight Mario. Hey, I'm the Mario from the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. What the fuck? Luigi, get a load of this shit. Alrighty. I'm trying to think of like what other music memories do I got here. Brawl was such a cool game. Agreed. I mean, in general, like I really enjoy a heck of a lot of the Smash Brothers games, like all of them for their own individual reasons. Like, you know, obviously the original Smash Brothers holds like this very nice spot in my heart just for the fact that it was the first one they ever played and it was on the N64. Super nostalgic for it. And in fact, random story, I thank you for the pie, Maddie. I appreciate this so much. We had CPUs of multiple Kirbys just jumping at each other. I can see that. That sounds hilarious. Some music that you really like. Let me see this. Oh yeah, Lucas Pukas.
I'm back.
Hello, welcome back. I'll play a little bit of this. This is Lucas Pukas Aquatic Sanctuary, Deltarune X Donkey Kong Country. Pretty good. Anyway, random story. Super Smash Brothers, the original one for the Nintendo 64. I remember when I was younger, we used to play a lot of Super Smash Brothers on the N64. Enjoyed the ever-loving heck out of it. One day, it just went missing. None of us knew what the heck was going on, and like We wanted to be able to play the game. Well, I guess we complained about it at one point, and we were just like, hey, so does anybody know where the cartridge is? Like, what's going on? And then we eventually found out from my brother that apparently he decided to like trade that copy of Super Smash Brothers for like I think money. He straight up just sold our copy of Super Smash Brothers to one of his friends for cheap. And I don't know if I've forgiven him for that yet. I'm not sure. I'm weighing it in my mind. I'm just like, am I okay with this? Am I not okay with this? I don't know.
I have a problem with this.
I have a big problem with this. Now, luckily, he never did that again because, he learned very quickly that no, that is a family copy of the game. You don't just sell a family copy of a video game. At least not without, talking to everybody. Instead, he would take video, he got rid of that habit. Instead, he just started like taking consoles and games over to other people's houses and then forgetting that he brought them over, and then he would like leave. And so then he would end up leaving like these copies of games that, our family bought with money over at other people's houses. Again, I don't know if I've forgiven him. Bruh. He's a good brother, okay? He's fine. It's just like he had some habits that were not okay. Anyway, so yeah, Smash Brothers. Very close to my heart. Love the ever-loving heck out of it. My first interaction with Kirby was from that game. Heck yeah. And then I played Smash Brothers Melee. We played the hell out of that game. And like we were obsessed with the idea of collecting all the trophies and just like it was such like a well put together, well crafted, shiny freaking game that we loved like tremendously. And then yeah, Brawl came out, and I seem to recall we did play Brawl, but like the Wii was a really interesting and awkward time for us because the Wii was kind of moving in a direction of more of a casual audience, and we were more interested in playing stuff on the Xbox. So we didn't spend a lot of time playing on that. And then the the Smash Brothers for the 3DS and the Wii U. It was fine. It was fine. it could have been better. I don't know. Like mechanically it was okay. Totally fine. But also I'm trying to remember, what game did they add slipping? I don't recall. That might have been Brawl, actually, now that I think about it. I wish Smash Run was more fleshed out. Yes. Dude, I loved Smash Run. And I was really annoyed that Smash Run was locked to one specific console. Like, what the heck, man? You could do that with some other stuff. Oh, tripping was in Brawl. Okay, that makes sense. Well, there was something that happened with something specifically with the Wii U and 3DS version. I think the only big reason why those versions of the game exist in the first place is because, like, oh, well, the Wii U is our first HD console, so therefore it's the first HD Smash Brothers. And that's reason enough to buy it. Yay! And then the 3DS version is just like, oh, you can play it mobily now. Innovation! There wasn't, like, a lot of reason to play it aside from that. Then Ultimate came out, and I think we know how Ultimate went. It was basically the never-ending hype machine with everybody talking about it for like the next 20 freaking years. Lucas Pookus.
Wait, is Hulk in Smash? Hulk's not in Smash, is he?
No, Hulk is not in Smash.
I feel like that was a missed opportunity.
How would they have gotten the Hulk to be in Smash?
I know, right?
How? Why? The moment you slipped, everyone who you played against would jump your ass. Yeah.
Add a new character called the Incredible Bulk.
The Incredible Bulk Bogan? The ice climbers are gone, which is sad. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, you know what? I remember that now. For like the Wii U and the 3DS versions, they just like took a bunch of characters that were in previous games and just chucked them. That was the difference with like Ultimate. They were like, "Oh no, everyone's coming back, every single one, and then some." God, I mean, it's no contest which particular character like made me the happiest. If you know anything about me, you know exactly who it is. I'm just gonna leave that up to you guys. What do you think it is? Which one? Which character was announced that basically made me go, ah? Mentioned it earlier, but did you know that there's a theme in Pokemon Sword and Shield made by Toby Fox? Yeah, I actually did. And it's freaking crazy that, like, you know, somebody like Toby Fox is, like, just climbed the ladder and eventually made his way up to, like, somewhere that prestigious. You know what I mean? Pierce says, I'm happy Sonic was added. That happened a while ago, though. Like, Sonic was introduced to the game before a lot of like the hype around, you know, characters being added to Smash was like at full tilt. Like Ultimate was the moment that everyone was just like, all bets are off. Crazy shit could happen. We don't know who's going to be added. This is going to get crazy. This is going to get nuts. I'm gonna go ahead and just drop this guy onto the screen and just bask in his glory for a moment. You know?
Ooh.
I'm still feeling the aftershocks from this. To this day.
I don't have the stream up.
Oh. Well, fine. Screw you then.
I deserve that.
I get to live with, you know, the cool kids club who know what I'm talking about.
That's okay, I'm fine playing this game with my 9 best friends. CPUs 1 through 9.
Yay. Maddie says, I still remember the memes around Greninja getting added. Yeah, that was an interesting era, for sure. I think a lot of people were looking at Greninja and just being cool, I guess.
Wow, really? Greninja of all beings?
I mean, Pokemon had already been added previously, so it fit.
I know, but of all Pokemon they could have added, Greninja.
It's better than just adding Snorlax as his own independent fighter.
Snorlax.
Has one move, belly flop.
You
Cannot
sleep.
get up afterwards.
Yep. Game. This game's winner is Snorlax somehow. I remember there was a period of time during like, you know, the whole Smash Brothers Ultimate stuff where like there were some like obviously there are people that leak shit, and there was a period where the information about Banjo and Kazooie was leaked out to the public, and I remember that I'd heard like the vague little rumors that had been floating around, but I was keeping myself radio silent on a lot of stuff related to Smash Brothers. So even though I had heard the rumor, I basically went, yeah, but that could be the same. That could be true for a ton of other characters. Like anybody could say, oh, did you hear that this, you know, so-and-so character is going to show up in Smash? Holy shit. And I'm like, I don't believe it. I have not seen any footage of it, and I don't care. I'm not looking into it. If it happens, it happens. I'm gonna go and hang out over there, you know? And then there was that Nintendo Direct where they made the announcement. What was that?
A new challenger approaches. Get the hell out of my swamp!
Somebody wants to... Oh, man. That would have been a weird alternate reality right there.
Yeah.
We, you know, who knows? Maybe there'll be another Smash Brothers that'll be made at some point here in the future, and when that happens, I'm not going, you know, I'm not going to discount it. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe the thing will happen. I don't know. But as somebody who is like, I'm a massive fan of Banjo-Kazooie, one, my brain exploded when he was announced. Two, he very quickly became, maybe not my main, but definitely like one of my regulars that I would use. And also, I've talked about this before, but like the Banjo-Kazooie amiibo that was released a while back, that is one of the only amiibos that I went and bought. Matter of fact, here, I got a picture of it right there. There we go. I own one of these. It sits on my shelf, and it makes me very happy. And the reason why I bought it in the first place is because, let's be real, this is the last time that we're ever going to see an officially Nintendo licensed anything related to Banjo-Kazooie ever again. You know, Microsoft is kind of shitting themselves in the foot. Which is a very interesting way to put that. Anyway, no, they're shitting themselves in the foot. There's no way in hell that we'll ever see a Banjo game again. And even if we do, they're not going to make it a good one. I'm kind of done with, like, keeping my head held high and, you know, hoping for it to show up again. So, this is kind of my last hurrah. This is my, like... This is my happy purchase. The thing that I'm like, yep.
You've long since put on your hat, grabbed your suitcase, and walked out the door on that.
Yep, pretty much. Maddie says, if I remember correctly, the rare times I do play Smash, I still main Meta Knight because of the side attacks being evil. What do you mean the people don't want a Banjo live service PvP game? Shut up! Don't jinx that shit. Look, just because they won't make a good Banjo game doesn't necessarily they don't need to make a horrendously terrible one, okay? They don't need to open up a portal to Satan. Let's not slip some things into their ears, eh? And also earlier you said I'm happy Sora was added. Absolutely, yeah. I didn't know how they were going to end things. I was just sitting there being like, what the fuck could it be? I don't know. They've released so many good characters. How could they, like... I remember, like, the day before they announced Sora, I had to make an announcement post on Discord just being like, okay, look, guys, whatever the turnout happens, just understand that we had a really good run. Okay? Like, don't go crazy here. All right? Okay? Let's all be civil. Whoever the last choice is, let's just be happy that we got what we got and be thankful. Luckily, though, Nintendo made, like, a very good choice for the final character that came out for Smash. Like, Sora, I don't know a single person who would look at Sora as, like, the last choice for a player for Smash Brothers and would honestly go, like, ew, no, I'm unsatisfied. This sucks. Give me my money back. Like, what the fuck, man? The final character, Byleth, but they're green. Yeah, right. What was that?
That's some heresy right there.
Yeah, friggin' heresy. The only studio I would trust with a Banjo game now is Double Fine. Maybe. Even then, Double Fine is... they're owned by Microsoft, right? And, like, anything Microsoft makes from here on out, big fat question mark. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Double Fine!
Maddie says, wasn't there that one Banjo-Kazooie kart game for like Xbox? Yep.
Yeah.
There was.
Nuts
I
and
remember that
bolts.
one. I've covered it. Yeah, that was
I
nuts and
actually
bolts.
played that one.
What was that?
I actually played that one. I had no idea what Banjo-Kazooie was up until that point, so I played it as it was. It was alright.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I agree. That game is all right. Like, they did a lot of really interesting and innovative things. Honestly, a lot of people have made the comparison between Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And it's not a perfect one-to-one comparison. However, those games do share a lot of DNA, and a lot of people actually really like the building mechanics of Tears of the Kingdom. So I think there were really good ideas within Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. It's just like they needed to do those ideas with something that wasn't Banjo-Kazooie. Like, because, you know, you made an okay regular video game, but you made a shit Banjo-Kazooie game, and that's the problem.
Alright, so I look back on Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, and I made a realization. Here I am sitting playing Trailmakers, which is another vehicle building game. Almost 20 years later. I think I like vehicle building games. And I think I have for a long time.
I think this is the protoplasm to my DNA.
I just found the missing link.
I've done it. I found the butterfly that caused the effect. Vaguely remember one review talked about it supposedly just being really bad, how different it was to the rest of the games. Like, that's a bad comparison, and I'm sure that I know that there were some reviewers out there that made comparisons between Banjo and Banjo Nuts and Bolts. Absolutely. And was it a fair comparison? I don't think so. On its own, it's fine. It's a fine game. Like, if you were looking for a Banjo-Kazooie game, it's not fine. Like, it's basically a very disappointing, sad game where you're like reminded of all the cool things you remember playing Banjo-Kazooie for, but then that's it. It's like a lot of key jangling, and then that's it. You don't actually get a Banjo-Kazooie experience out of it.
And I just realized how salty the intro for Nuts and Bolts was due to that.
How so?
Where you start off with a race against Gruntilda's undead head.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then Locke shows up and says, "No, this isn't what people are looking for."
Yep. Oh, I remember that one too. That pissed off a lot of people. There was like, oh, dude, there was just like you could tell that the developers of the games, like, that was clearly commentary from the developers themselves, who were just like, you know, we'd love to be making an actual Banjo-Kazooie game here, but corporate isn't allowing us to do that. So, here's a cynical character that is a representation of Microsoft. And
Here's
yeah.
my boss. I mean, definitely not a manifestation of him.
Yeah, it's not my boss. Totally not my boss. Log is not my boss. I mean, what? Keeper was good. The game where he plays a lighthouse. I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like whenever I see a good game come out of Microsoft, I don't think it happened because Microsoft is a good company. You know what I mean? Like, it happened despite the fact that Microsoft was there. And that's the mantra that I have for the entire rest of, like, eternity. It's just like, if there's any good games that come out of any Microsoft IP, it's only happening because of some decent people pulling strings behind the scenes. You know?
Fantastic devs and the stars aligning.
Right. Certainly didn't happen because Microsoft wanted to make a good game. Oh, man. I've got an entire other rant that I've got sort of lined up here I'm going to be doing this for the 10-year stream anniversary thing that's coming up pretty soon. I'm not going to talk about it here because, or at least not in like fine detail, because I don't really have this written down. And I'm going to be real. I think I'm going to write this down and I'm just going to say it word for word because I'd like to make a comprehensive statement that isn't just stumbling. But I will say it has to do with Microsoft and the fact that like there's a lot of stuff with Microsoft that I don't trust anymore. So I miss the era before Microsoft bought Minecraft, to be honest. It was just simpler. Was Minecraft the game that tilted the scales? I don't know. I think it was just that entire year of them buying up a bunch of video game companies that bothered me. The whole, like, look at us expanding. Look, it's expansion. We're looking so promising, right? Hey, look at all the IP we're getting. We're such a good company. Please invest in Microsoft, please. And then several years later, they were like, this didn't work. We're selling off all of these game studios, and we are keeping all the assets. Not to do with anything with them. We just have them now.
Make sure nobody else can do anything with them.
Right? Was that one scene from Smiling Friends? Like, it's my intellectual property to sit on and do nothing with. Fucking Christ, man. I don't know. How much have you looked into the remasters for the Halo trilogy?
Not at all.
Oh, not at all. It's making me sad. It's making me very sad. Come to think of it, how much Halo did you play back in the day?
I started playing in Halo 2, and I didn't really comprehend what was happening. I just kind of played it. Halo 3 was when things got real good for me.
I kind of agree.
God, I played Halo 3 over and over and over again with my friend.
Pierce says, we need more games like Hi-Fi Rush. Kill studio that made Hi-Fi Rush. Yep. That's how it works. God. Okay. So you got a pretty good idea of, like, Halo in general. Well, they made an announcement a while back. Actually, not even that long ago. It was, I think it was, like, 3 weeks ago? 4? I don't know. They made an announcement that they're doing remasters for all 3 of the original Halo trilogy. And they've shown footage of the first game and like one of the levels in there, which is like the most famous level that ever existed in that game. And a lot of people were really put off by it, by like the art direction looks kind of weird. Like everything's a little hyper realistic and a little bit like really, really fine detailed, and it's like kind of weird and interesting. But the things that kind of bothered people about this is like, all right, so 1, it doesn't look all that great. 2, why are we doing this again? We've already remastered this game once before. Stop it. And 3, and this is the thing that Pierce is pointing out here, Microsoft has made a statement that they are planning on or are already in the process of using AI a part of their workflow. So we don't exactly know what that means. We don't know if they're using generative AI for textures. We don't know if they're using AI for the coding process. We don't know if they're using AI for the voiceover work. We just know that they're using AI for something.
Cortana is real. Cortana is real!
Dude, can you? I imagine that's their next move. They're just gonna make it like a real Cortana.
You might want to keep an eye on it after 7 years.
Oh, I hate to give any bad ideas to Microsoft, but given the direction they're going, who wants to bet that they're actually going to make an AI assistant out of like a chat GPT thing, and they're gonna make it Cortana, and they're gonna I'm upset. I'm upset. Don't do it. Just don't.
Yep.
Cut it out.
It's gonna happen. We're in hell, man.
This game franchise is dead. Anyway. I thought I caught that for a second. Thank you for the pie. In general, don't think I ever cared that much about shooter games until, like, literally Splatoon. That probably says something about me. You know what? That's fine. Like, Splatoon kind of, like, takes shooter games and actually makes them, like, fun again. Let's be real. Like, there are a lot... Like, shooter games... Dude, there's just something about, like, shooter games that came out, like, within the past, like, 5 to 10 years where they've gotten this idea in their head that, like, we need to make everything super realistic. We need to make everything, like, you know, we need to add, like, stakes to everything. So everything needs to be super heavy. We need to, like, make it super hardcore. We also need to make it, like, ultra ridiculously competitive. And meanwhile, there's a bunch of people that are just like, can we have fun? Like, was fun an option at some point? And honestly, Splatoon kind of fills in that void. I know that, like, you know, my dad really liked Halo when it originally came out, but, like, Halo when it originally came out was more of a fun, like, sort of chill multiplayer, like, you know, shooty, okay, you're done kind of thing. You know, it was kind of like goofy in that way. But, you know, he's kind of moved past that as a franchise because he's just like, I don't really care about any of the lore. I don't care about the campaigns. I want to play a fun little, like, you know, space shooter. I don't, whatever. And then my dad started playing Splatoon. And he's like, just the other day, he actually, like, you know, he grabbed his copy of Splatoon 3 that he hasn't played in a while, and he gave it a play because he's like, I don't got much time. Like, I don't got much going on right now. I'm just going to play some Splatoon. It's like, that should tell you something. Like, it is definitely, like, a much more fun experience and, like, more casual, something more relaxing. Something where you don't feel like you're, like, going to work. You know what I mean? Anyway. So what do I have lined up for, like, the next week here? I don't know if I have anything, like, super crazy to talk about for, like, the next week. Oh, well, okay, so Thanksgiving is coming up pretty soon. I guess before I will have one more stream before Thanksgiving happens, but I will say right away, Happy Thanksgiving to everybody who celebrates it. And also, God help you during Black Friday.
Thanks.
As for you, if you can call in sick, I don't. I'm sure it's a lot of good money, unfortunately.
Yes.
Son of a bitch. Maddie says, funny enough, I remember one time in the 2010s, I seen a Splatoon ad and thought it was a Pokemon clone somehow. I never got that vibe from it. I think when I saw Splatoon for the first time, I did have the fleeting thought of, like, Nintendo, what the hell are you doing? What is this? What is this silly garbage? Why are you bringing the, like, slime physics back from Super Mario Sunshine? And what are these strange little, like, squid creatures? What are you doing? And also, what's with like the freaking music? We're not living in the 90s anymore. What is this? Like, I didn't know Nickelodeon GAC was still on the menu. I'm confused.
Gack.
However, it has settled in my brain. And now I'm like, no, Splatoon. Splatoon's legit. Shush up. I'll shut my mouth. I didn't know what I meant. I didn't know what I was talking about. Pierce says, I went to a Splatoon event for the first game at a pier near me. They had a bunch of inflatable obstacle courses and threw ink on people. It was rad. Hey, that sounds kind of cool. Wonder what the ink was made out of. God, I hope it was non-toxic.
Completely non-toxic. It was just pure radium.
It was because of the squid design, maybe. Keep in mind, back then, I lived around a goddamn rock. Alright, that makes sense. That happened in 2015. I'm so old! This game is so old that it's almost a teenager. What the fuck? Splatoon still feels so new to me. Freaking crazy. I don't know. There were several times that I thought about the idea of me playing Splatoon. I'm just like, I don't have a competitive bone in my body. You know what I mean? Like, I remember playing. I played Halo multiplayer at one point, and I did enjoy that. But that was a game that I felt like fairly competent about. I don't feel as competent when it comes to any other games, honestly. Pierce says, speaking of Splatoon and Pokemon, what is this? Oh no, what is this? Pokemon Black version. Oh fuck. Da 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 da. What the hell? I'm looking at the comments. Remember that one time when the Inkay sisters performed in Driftville City during that one event? Remember the Red versus Blue Splatfest? Yep. That's what you're going to hear in your head from now on. Ba-da-ba-ba. Red vs. Blue Splatfest was real, actually. It was fun. I don't remember that. No. Interesting. I didn't really, I didn't pay too much attention to the events that were going on in that game. I just remember that, ooh, okay, interesting. Thing versus thing. Getcha. And then, in the third game, they were like, but what if third thing? Red won. Oh. Well, now I'm sad. How dare you people? You didn't rep the blue. God damn it. You've disappointed me. And I am sad. Good day to y'all. At least in popularity. I think blue had the most match wins. What? How's that work? Also, Splatoon Wiki. Ah, okay. Pokemon Red versus Blue for Inkpedia. Very good. I remember, yeah, I did have the blue version of Pokemon back in the day, and my brother had red. Funny enough, me and him have always sort of been our own rivals, so to speak. I would get one of the games, he would get the other one. And then we would fight back and forth between each other. And every once in a while, we would also trade Pokemon that, we couldn't get any other way. Very intriguing. Let's see. What other... hold on. Let me see. Where's the page specifically dedicated to Splatfest, so... There's a lot of information on this page, but not one single place. Where's the heck's the Splatfest? Oh, wait, here they are. Splatfest and Splatoon. God, that took me a while. All right. In oh yeah, that's right. They had some different ones depending on like your region. Rice versus bread. That wouldn't have worked anywhere aside from Japan. Instead, we got cats versus dogs. Hooray. What the hell? Okay, hold on a second. I need to look at some of these like Japanese Splatfests. What is this? What is this weirdo nonsense? Okay, so we got like rice versus bread. Past versus future, or spoon versus fork. I like that Callie and Marie quoted Team Rocket in the Splatfest announcement. Really? Ooh, that's kind of cool. Lemon tea versus milk tea. Man, maybe I'm just like, you know, the kids over in Japan are built different than North America, but like, you know, we got marshmallows versus hot dogs. Meanwhile, they're just like, lemon tea versus milk tea. What the fuck? Airhead versus Wisecracker? What? Wait, what is that? Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Theme was 2 roles from the Manzai style of comedy. Got it. All right, that makes sense. All right. Well, culture. What even is that? Squid versus octopus. Yeah, no shit. That makes sense. Love versus money. Land food versus seafood. Red kitsune udon versus green tanuki soba. Perfect body versus perfect mind. What? The frig. All right. Oh yeah, there's Pokemon Red versus Pokemon Green. Nice. Show no mercy versus focus on healing. God. Tuna and mayonnaise versus red salmon. Fancy party versus costume party. Dude, are these like tuna and mayonnaise versus red salmon? Is that like contentious enough that like it genuinely has to be on like a Splatfest roster? Is that legit? What? Fancy party versus costume party. I'll go for a costume party. Costume party sounds fun. The fancy party, it requires people to like spend more money than they should. I like how the Splatfest is basically the spiritual successor to the Everybody Votes channel. That's true, actually. Oh, and the final one was Callie versus Marie. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, people were like, oh. What was the results of that, by the way? I forgot. Marie won. Okay. What, like the popularity vote and also the wins? Ultimately, yeah, Marie was the winner. That's unfortunate. Poor Callie. All right, so for North America, our Splatfests were, again, cats versus dogs, roller coasters versus water slides. I don't get this one. Marshmallows versus hot dogs? How do? Why did those combine? I don't think those combine. That sounds like a terrible thing. Also, Autobots versus Decepticons? Hold the fucking phone. What do you mean? Serious? How did they do this? Was this like... This must have been some sort of a cross promotion, right? Who paid who? That's what I want to know. The winner was the Decepticons, so, you know, we're all fucked. Anyway, art versus science. Oh, I like both of them. Shoot. Cars versus planes. I'll take planes. Cars suck. Give me a train any old day. Pirates versus ninjas. The classic staple. A fight as long.
You know what side I'm on?
Pirate?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know about that. Burgers versus pizza. That is the most American fattest one right there. That is like If there were a Splatfest for Americans, that had to exist. Naughty versus Nice. I'm assuming, yeah, that was for a Christmas thing. Past v Future. There's Pokemon in Red versus Blue. Snowmen versus Sandcastles. You know, I never really thought about it, but like sandcastles are basically just snowman, except in different medium. Oh, weird. SpongeBob v Patrick. Yeah, brand marketing. Fancy party versus costume. There's the fancy party versus costume party thing again. Early bird versus night owl. I want to be an early bird so bad, but I know I'm a night owl at heart. That makes me sad. Okay. What about Europe? Here's Europe's options. Rock versus pop. That makes sense, actually, yeah. Eating versus sleeping. Both, please? I think you need both. What the heck? North Pole versus South Pole. I'll take Santa Claus any given day, I'm sorry. Why is South Pole even on this list? Singing versus dancing. Messy versus... What? Who would actively choose being messy over being tidy?
No one.
Sir? Is there something you need to tell me?
No. Just don't look at my room. Everything will work out.
Okay.
I keep everything in piles. I know where those piles are.
Look, dude, I'll be real. I have a desk currently sitting in front of me, and like, it's a little bit of a mess, but I know where everything is. You know, it's just like, okay, my pencils are over here. Bonk, you know. Okay, let's see. Funny enough, cats versus dogs. Europe ended up getting that a little bit later in the timeline here. Zombies versus ghosts? I guess I can see the combination. Okay. Fine. What the fuck? Delicious versus disgusting.
What?
Who chooses disgusting? Why would you do that? What the frig, man? And then we got get fit versus get rich. Here's my solution. Get rich, make your own gym, and then you can get fit. It's going to take a little bit more effort, but I would prefer to have the money. And I'd prefer to have my own home gym.
You got someone over there with a fillet magnet, and I've just got a plate full of nutrient paste.
They had a fucking Splatfest over the right way to put toilet paper on. I remember that one, actually. I remember seeing it on social media. And let me... There is no right way to put toilet paper on the frickin', like, toilet roll. Like... Am I weird? There's no right way. Like, you put the toilet paper wherever is, like, the most comfortable and the most effective for you. I remember growing up, I grew up with cats. And one thing that you definitely don't do when you have cats is put those toilet paper rolls out in such a way that they can unroll them. Because if you've got a rambunctious enough cat, they'll do that. So, I remember for a little while, we would flip the rolls around so that, like, you know, the back end of it was, you know, the tongue for the toilet paper roll was facing, like, back against the wall instead of forward. And that worked just fine. You know, that did the job for a while. And then we got, like, my dad's cat, Buddy. And Buddy is a monster. Like, he's adorable. I love him. I love him dearly, okay? I would die for him. I would do anything for him. However, this freaking cat, like, we would hang the toilet paper roll facing the wall so you couldn't easily unroll it, and this freaking cat I guess he took it up as a challenge, basically. So not only would he try to unroll the roll, but he would also just like rip the ever-loving fuck out of the roll using his claws. And so like it wasn't even just like the roll like moving. It was like there would just be shreds all over the freaking bathroom. And I'd just be like, oh, okay, so because we didn't allow you to unroll the roll, you decided that it needed to be in, like, tatters. Okay, cool. You little asshole. And so, basically, our family had to move from having the toilet paper roll on the wall to having the toilet paper roll sitting next to the fricking toilet. So, you know, I guess the cats won. And now we're just waiting for the day when, like, they find out, wait a second, we can grab the toilet paper roll and we can pull it off the counter and then tear it up that way. One day they'll figure it out, and then everything will be worse. Anyway, more about the Splatfest information, though. Hoverboard versus jetpack. You know, I'm a fan of Back to the Future, but I have to go with jetpack. Have to. Jetpack allows you to fly. Hoverboard means that you are just like hovering just a little bit above the ground. No, I want to get some good air. SpongeBob versus Patrick. Funny enough, Japan didn't have SpongeBob versus Patrick or Transformers. Interesting. I wonder how those promotions worked. Oh. Black tie event versus fancy dress party. Isn't that the same thing except like gender coded? And in which case, why not both? Why not do whatever the heck you want? Wear whatever you feel comfortable in. Jesus Christ. World Tour versus Space Adventure. I'm gonna throw that out to you guys, actually. What do you think you would choose? Would you want to go on a world tour, or would you want to go on a space adventure? Maddie says space. Okay. Pierce says world tour. There's nothing to see in space for light years. You know what? Yeah. I agree with Pierce. I agreed with Pierce even before any votes came in. We've only got one world, and it's a crazy beautiful place. Yeah, like here's the thing. We have an entire world that is actively like designed and made for us that like we can live in without having to, you know, basically wear a respirator on us at all times. And like it'd be another thing if like we had the ability to oh, Phoenix has world tour. There we go. It'd be one thing if like, you know, maybe if we had the ability to travel light years and go to different planets that are habitable. If that was the case, I would think otherwise. However, this world has also been catered directly to us as a species, meaning that like we have the ability to, you know, be safe in many different environments. Whereas, thank you for the can. Whereas if I were to go to space, like there's a lot of dangers in space. And even if a planet is habitable, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's like, you know, safe for us to explore. You could still run into so many horrifying circumstances of like, you know, horrible space illnesses and parasites, and also animals that want to completely devour you. I think I'll take my chances with what we currently have on Earth. Thank you. Maddie says, no, space is cool though. It is. I'll admit it's cool. You could just spend months exploring Japan alone. There's so many cool things there. Yes, I'd love to see more of Europe. France is gorgeous. Absolutely. Yeah, I would go with the world tour, frankly. Okay, so that's like Splatoon. So these are like Splatfests for the game Splatoon. So let me go to like the Splatfest pages in what other like Splatfests are currently listed out here? Okay, they've got breakdowns for like all the winners and all of the things. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I found Splatfests in Splatoon, Splatfest in... Okay, Splatoon 2. I'm very curious about this. But space to escape the bullshit that happens here, too. Just don't let Elon Musk anywhere near Mars, okay? We don't need this guy to, like, have full, complete, like, control over all autonomy everywhere, okay? He doesn't need to have an entire planet to himself. What was that?
You ever play Stellaris?
No, I haven't, actually.
He would become the end game Crisis if that were to happen.
I'll believe you. All right, so we have Splatfests in Splatoon 2. Okay, some of these line up, other ones don't. Let's see. Oh, Japan finally got Rock versus Pop. Very nice. Cake versus Ice Cream for like North America and everywhere else. You know what I need to do? I need to save that. I need to like bookmark this page. Fuck, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna bookmark this page, and the next time that we do a casual stream, we're just gonna go through these. And like I want to see the breakdown. I like when more people are currently available that can like be in the call, that we can like just go through them. Like that sounds like a good idea. So how do I do that? Funny enough, I'm looking at the Splatfests for Splatoon 3. There are so many Splatfests in Splatoon 3 that were like synchronized. They were very actively different in the original Splatoon. Like ridiculously. They started syncing up a little bit more in Splatoon 2. And then in Splatoon 3, they were just like, you know what? We're done with separating this shit. You all can get the exact same Splatoon. Like, we live in the internet age. You know what these things are. You can vote for them. Come on. And I don't know if this is a case of, like, they couldn't come up with any good, like, separate, 3-group things. I don't know. Maybe they just couldn't come up with, like, good separate 3-group things that were, like... Actually, no, it feels like it takes more work to come up with stuff that works for multiple, multiple areas and, like, multiple, regions of the world. That's... I don't know. I'm confused. I don't understand. I'm bookmarking this page, and I'm going to try to remember that it's here, and we'll see if, like, maybe I'll read through this again the next time that we do a casual stream, which will be next week. Phoenix likes cake and ice cream. Well, we all do. Yeah. Maddie says, I do cake because ice cream makes brain freeze. It depends on what I feel like. Ice cream, I personally really like because there's something about cake that's just like, I don't know, like, it's hard. It depends on my mood, man. It really does. Either one of them sounds good to me. Alrighty. Well, with that being said, we're starting to get a little bit late into the night here, and I think I should start winding stuff down. Quick question. Do we have anybody currently streaming that I could, like, send you guys off to? Not really. Taking a look at some people that I follow, and I don't see anybody actively online. Okay. Well, we could just call it a night. There's different types of cake with different flavors and textures. So is ice cream. What do you mean? What are you talking about? There are many different types of ice cream of different flavors and different textures. Like, you could get, like, soft serve ice cream. You can get, like, just standard ice cream. You could get, like, milkshakes. That technically counts as an ice cream. They're all mainly just cold. Well, all right. Cake is just warm then. Cake is just room temperature sweet. Whatever, man. And also, many different flavors. There's tons of flavors and textures. Let's talk about textures as well. Like you could get Rocky Road, and Rocky Road's got a whole bunch of shit in it. What do you mean? They both. Tres leches, though. I don't know how to pronounce that. Hey. I'm not saying that cake is bad. I'm saying that both of them have their own, like, valid arguments for them, man. Like, dog, I know that, like, there is nothing quite as satisfying as, like, a nice chocolate cake. Something that's, like, nice and, like, especially, like, sort of a fudgy thing. I remember there was one cake that I had. I think it was, like, at a restaurant. And I don't know where they got this cake. I'm assuming they probably just, like, buy them in bulk from a, some person that, like, sells them. Like, a distributor, you know what I mean? How a lot of restaurants do it, where they're just like, we get all our food from the same places as all the other restaurants in the area. Have fun. Anyway, but they had this one particular cake, and it was a 7-layer cake, but all the layers were chocolate. And every single layer was a different version and formula of chocolate. So it was just like, one fork, you'd be eating regular chocolate, like cake. Then the next one, it'd be like a chocolate mousse. And then like the next one after that, it'd be more of like a pudding texture. And then like, another one would be like, it'd have like icing on it. You know what I mean? Like delicious. Forever got biased for Red Velvet. Is good shit. Isn't Red Velvet basically chocolate? I might be committing a sin here, but is Red Velvet chocolate except with red food coloring in it? Or am I wrong? I'm not gonna say 100% because I don't know. Oh, Maddie says I don't know. Yeah, you know what? Before we end the stream, let me look that up. Red velvet cake. I want to know. What is red velvet cake? All right, let's go to the Wikipedia for red velvet cake. Red velvet cake is a red-colored layer cake with cream cheese or ermine icing. That's interesting because I've had red velvet cake and maybe they cheaped out on the icing. I'm not entirely sure. Origin of the cake is unknown, although it's popular in southern United States and has been served as a dessert at New York City's Waldorf Astoria Hotel since 1920. Why? Why do we care? I mean, I'm sure it's a famous hotel, but come on. Ingredients of the cake include baking powder, butter, buttermilk or vinegar, cocoa powder, eggs, flour, salt, vanilla extract, and in most modern recipes, red food color. All right. So this is a chocolate cake. It has red food coloring in it. And I think the standout characteristic of a red velvet cake seems to be the cream cheese icing, specifically. So, all right. We can say for certain now, red velvet cake is not just chocolate cake with red food coloring in it, okay? We went and we did the research. We didn't go and piss off a bunch of people in the red food, the red velvet cake community who were just like, no, you're wrong, shut up! Because we live on the internet, and that's going to happen. Anyway, Pierce says, I like Costco pizza and Costco cake too. Have I had Costco pizza? I don't go to Costco all that often. I go to like Walmart. That's where I get most of my stuff. Because Walmart is like it's the good middle ground where like it's not a whole bunch of stuff that's in bulk, but it's also not like super overly priced. If you haven't, you're missing out. I think like I got a terrible commitment issue when it comes to shit. And like, you have to buy a membership in order to get, do stuff at Costco. Is there a community for just red velvet? That'd be wild to see. This is the internet. There's a community for literally everybody. There's a subreddit that exists out there that will probably, catch wind of this stream, and the instant they hear me say a sentence, as, 100% and as, declarative as
Red velvet cake is just chocolate cake except with red food coloring in it.
that's the moment that they're going to take my head and they're going to use it as a basketball. And I don't want that. The 150 hot dogs. Yeah, I've heard about those. Red Baron pizza is my favorite, but it cuts up my mouth. Red Baron's fine to me. It's a good, cheap brand if you're looking for a cheap brand. Yeah. It's non-offensive, basically. You technically don't need a membership to... What was that?
How would a basketball behave if you filled it with water instead of air?
Internet, go. Okay, none of these are answering my question. All of these are just being do you have a basketball hoop that's filled with water as, at the base? Here's how to fill it. And I'm like, I'm not a caveman. I know how to fill a basketball hoop with water. I know these. I grew up with these. I want to know, in theory, what would happen if you filled a basketball with water. There's one website that's talking about it, but it's got AI in the name, so fuck that. I guess we'll never know. All right, hold on a second. Fill basketball with water. A basketball. I want to fill a basketball with water, not a hoop. Okay, how do you... minus the word hoop. I hate freaking search engines nowadays. They just... I know I'm asking a weird freaking question, but I do still, I want them to give me the proper answers. You know what I mean? I did find... Okay, hold on a second. Somebody did do it on YouTube. Hold up. Okay. Yep, it's some guy named Ya Boy Pizza. The name throws me off. I'm not gonna lie. The thumbnail makes me want to, curl inside of myself and die. Basketball versus H2O. All right, what? I don't want to watch this whole freaking thing. It's 11 minutes. I don't care. Okay, there is one timestamp that somebody left that's at 7:54. Let's see what this is. Oh, if you fill a basketball with water, it looks like eventually it's going to explode when it hits something. So don't do that.
Yeah, that checks out, I guess.
Dude for real wants that ad money. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, and he has another video. Helium basketball experiment. I mean, obvious next step, I guess. All right. It seems that it's probably a bad idea to fill a basketball with water. All right. I gotcha. But if it appears that if you are strong enough in the arms, you could technically do it. does it bounce is the question. I'm gonna mute this real quick, and I'm gonna see if I can find a shot of this basketball like bouncing. Okay, is this one filled with water? Let's see. Okay. I saw it bounce. It doesn't bounce. It just like it hits the ground like a lead weight. All right. I see now. Yeah, no, filling a basketball with water is a freaking terrible idea. We have now learned this. I guess we are wiser for that. Lovely. And also, I've heard a couple of stories from people talking about, like, you know, oh, dude, this person cheated because they filled the basketball with helium. And meanwhile, I'm sitting there being like, would it make much of a difference? I feel like that's up to a science channel. There's also, hold on, I'm looking at my search results, and it also says how to inflate a basketball. I'm not an idiot.
The description for the flamethrower weapon can very quickly caramelize marshmallows.
Ooh. Hey, I'd be down for that. And not only could you caramelize marshmallows, you could do a bunch at once. Okay. That was an interesting, like, side tangent that we took, but I think I'm going to call it a day. We've learned something new. But, yes, I'm going to head over to the end screen here and talk about what my plans are for the next week. It's going to be a lot of more of the same. We've had a very similar schedule for, like, the last, I want to say, month and a half. However, you know, I haven't had a heck of a lot to do. You know, it's basically just been Silk Song plus Pac-Man. And also chilling out on the chill stream. Hey, and that's totally fine. So that's kind of going to be what we're going to be doing for the next week as well. We're going to be playing through some more Pac-Man World 2 repack, going through post-game stuff, probably going to rage out on one of the bosses, specifically the spider one. Look forward to that, I guess. And then, I'm playing through Silk Song. There's another game that you're probably going to watch me rage out over. Look forward to that. And then Sunday is the day where we just sort of like hang out and chill. Unless we bring up some sort of like, you know, contentious sort of subject that involves, you know, talking about whether or not ice cream or cake is better. So look forward to that. It's just nothing but rage. Nothing but anger. Anyway, that will do it for the stream. Like, in all seriousness, this was a very chill and relaxing and fun stream, and I appreciate you guys coming out very much. Any last minute things you want to say, Kyle?
Nah.
Nah.
Eat the yellow snow, it might be beer.
What?
Eat the yellow snow, it might be beer.
That's terrible. That's a horrible idea. Especially, you know, do that around a bar for certain. You have a higher chance of finding the beer snow. The elusive beer snow. All right, I'm gonna take off here. Thanks for hanging out in the chat. I appreciate it a lot. Like this was a nice little. This was some nice unwinding, and I enjoyed it very much. Ciao.
Good night.
Yeah, Eric. Catch you later.